George Bush has declared a national day of prayer and remembrance. As a school, community, country, and world, we need to remember those who are injured, who were killed, and who are still missing. We need to remember the families of these victims. We must also remember members of the police and fire departments.
Tonight's
who made
AT&T
heroic
broadband
efforts
game
to save
week
lives.
is
In their efforts, many sacrificed their own lives. As the days move on, we will learn of new American heroes and the actions they took that undoubtedly saved many of their lives. In memory of these people, these many people, student leaders of both College Park and Los Lomas stand before you with lit candles. As a community, please stand and join me in a moment of silence to remember those who died and those who sacrificed in our ongoing efforts for freedom. At the south end of the end zone, the American flag flies at half-staff in memory of our fallen citizens. Courtney Bristol will now sing the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming with your stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight? For the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets from glare, their bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you, Courtney. As you enter the stadium tonight, you are given a copy of America the Beautiful. I would invite you all to join Courtney and fellow Los Lomas student Jessica Reber in the singing of this song symbolizing American freedom.
Oh, beautiful for spacious sky, forever wake of rain, for purple
Well, obviously, not a typical week around the United States of
One of the
America.
efforts of terrorism
We'll go back to the field real quick.
disrupt the lives of a free people in a society like ours. The presence of everyone here tonight demonstrates that the efforts of those who sought to take away our freedom last Tuesday have and will continue to fail. To the players, I wish you good luck and good sportsmanship in this and all games the remainder of the season. Thank you for coming, and now let us get on with the game.
Well, as I was mentioning, it's not a typical week around the United States of America, obviously, but we'll try to do the best we can, Steve, after some of the moving and touching ceremonies we saw here tonight. It's the high school football game of the week on AT&T Broadband. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez, as always, with Matt Bolander and Ron Carter. And I think a lot of people's minds aren't on football right now, Steve, but hopefully we might be able to shed a little bit of light on this very dark week.
Well, Dan, all of our prayers and thoughts go out to the victims and to the victim survivors. And I don't know about you, but it feels like we've just been kicked in the stomach, you know. And I think everybody has the same feelings as America and as Americans. And I think the kids should be playing, Dan. You know, the NFL did the right thing by stopping them, but I think the kids should be out here.
Well, hopefully this community gathering will bring a lot of people together tonight. Let's set the stage for tonight's game, Steve, as we dedicate this game to all the people who lost their lives in the tragic events of Tuesday, September 11th. Los Lomas last week opened their season with a 35-15 victory over Piedmont. They're replacing 4 Division I type players who left last year's team, including Brian Luke, who's at Kansas.
Well, they really are, Dan, and they run a pro set offense, and they got J.C. Lewis running it. And last week, he had a great game, Dan. He was 12 for 24 for 246 yards in their win over Piedmont. He threw to Joe Davis, who caught 5 passes for 125 yards and a couple TDs. So they run that pro set pretty well, and they like J.C. Lewis. They like what he brings to the table, and they're pretty excited about their chances tonight.
Well, they're a very young team, and they're learning as they go along, but they beat a very strong Piedmont team who's led by Drew Olson, the great quarterback, and they won that game convincingly. They very mobile quarterback, Lewis, and of course they have a lot of great young players, and we'll see plenty of them out there tonight. Now, College Park, on the other hand, does exactly the opposite. They run the veer option type of offense. They have a great quarterback in Steve Lynn, who runs that offense. He's very quick. He plays on both sides of the ball, Steve, and Brady McClendon, who joins him in that backfield.
Well, Dan, last week they both had they both ran for 100 yards last week. Steve Lewis ran for 138 and a couple TDs, and McClendon ran for 105 yards. They're very good offensively. They run that veer option very well, and they spread the ball around very well. And this should be a good game. Should be interesting.
Both teams gained over 400 yards of total offense last week. College Park went up to Ashland, Oregon, and were beaten the last seconds 26-25 up there. They gave up 3 touchdowns, though. As we look at the keys to tonight's game, Steve, Los Lomas obviously has to provide time for their passing game and stop College Park's running game. And, of course, College Park needs to run that offense to a T and stop Los Lomas' passing game.
Yeah, they really do, Dan. And I think both of them have challenges on their hands tonight. It's going to be real interesting to see who breaks through first. And the battle up front is going to be interesting, too, with in the trenches. That's going to show you a lot on who can control their offense tonight. So it should be interesting.
We're going to take it down to the field for the coin flip.
Your ball club. If we have any problems, we're going to ask you to take care of that problem. All right, number 2, if we have a penalty, we're going to ask the captain to step forward, and I'll administer the options, and you tell me what you want to have done. Any questions? All right, which one of you will call the coin? Loud and clear. I'm getting old these days, okay? It's a silver dollar. There's the tail, there's the head. In the air, and if I drop it, we're going to go all over again. Heads. What was called? Heads. Head, it is a head. White, you've won the coin toss. Defer. Defer. White has won the coin toss. They're going to defer their options to the second half. That means you have your choice this half, Red. You wish to have the football. Which goal would you wish to defend?
Defending that goal.
Defending. Backs over here, White, please. The red team will receive the football towards the clock. All right, we're ready to go. Bring him out. Let's go.
So we're ready to go with some football here from Los Lomas High School. That's referee Tony Gisoletta, who will be joined tonight by umpire Sal Gurley, Dave Gregory, and Arnold Lehman out there on the field, Steve. And you wanted to mention the girls who sang so beautifully for us here tonight.
Well, Courtney Bristol sang the national anthem, and then Courtney was joined by Jessica Reber on America the Beautiful. They both did a great job. We want to make sure they get the credit for what they did. And good job, girls, and they led us in it, and it was quite touching.
Los Lomas is coached by Doug Longero in his 4th year out of Milpitas High School initially, then on to UC Davis, and then back to Milpitas to coach, and now here at Los Lomas. They had a great year last year, Steve. They went to the North Coast Section Championship game. They lost to Miramani in that game. We'll have that rematch for you later in the year, but they're a very good team on the rise.
Yeah, Dan, they was 11-2 last year, 9-1 in league. They beat St. Mary's and Piedmont, and as you said, they lost to Miramani in the NC 2A final. So they went quite a way last year, and they got challenges against them this year. But they're ready to step up and and try to answer the call.
College Park, of course, coached by Bill Kepler in his 13th year. The funny thing is Los Lomas, a lot of their coaches are guys that came in from outside the area, whereas College Park is mostly coached by guys who went to College Park.
Exactly. And it should be, they're a bunch of good guys, and they've been around. They got plenty of experience, Dan, and the kids respond to them, so it should be real interesting tonight, Dan.
Brett Willard will kick for the Falcons. Daniel Knockman and Scott Amorosa deep for Los Lomas, and the ball comes down. That's Knockman at the 10-yard line. Having a little bit of trouble with it, but here he comes. A bit of a hole. Knockman still on his feet and finally knocked down. And, folks, tonight the yard markers are going to come into play. That is at the 27-yard line, tackle made on the play by Dwight Upshaw. Let's take a look at the Los Lomas offense. Of course, we might not have the Los Lomas offense for the first play. Hopefully we'll try to get it for the second play. But J.C. Lewis, the quarterback, leads the Knights, 6 foot, 195, a junior. We'll bring you the starting lineups after this play. Lewis brings them out, 3 wide receivers on first down. Here's Lewis. He's very mobile, likes to throw on the run. He's actually a left-handed quarterback, and he finds Joe Davis, his top receiver. And Davis has a first down on a gain of 13. That play all the way out to the 40-yard line. Let's take a look at the offense here for Los Lomas. There it is. It's J.C. Lewis at quarterback. Daniel Knockman and Alec Madrid, the running backs. Joe Davis, Ryan Walker, and Clint Burrell make up the receivers for the Knights. After this play, we'll take a look at their offensive line. It's first down, the ball at the 40-yard line of Los Lomas. We just started play here tonight in Walnut Creek, 30 seconds into this ball game. Beautiful night tonight for football. Lewis to pass again that was Knockman out in the flat, and the pass is incomplete. Here's the line starters for Los Lomas. Okay, I understand that we have not even put up the starters yet, so when we get to an opportunity, we will do it. If I have to read them to you after this play, I will. 2nd and 10. Lewis with one back behind him. Lewis to pass. Straight drop. Throws a deep pass up the sideline. He's got Davis, and just out of the reach of Davis. Coverage on that play by Sean George. Let me read you the offensive starters. I mentioned J.C. Lewis, Knockman, Madrid, Davis, Walker, and Burrell, who is the tight end. Kazaz, Perron, Schwark, Bart, and Miller make up the offensive line for the Los Lomas Knights, and here we are once again on camera.
That's scary.
The College Park defensive starters, Jason Trumbley, Jeff Butler, Mike Plath, and Gary Russell across the line. Brady McClendon, Anthony LaSala, and Ryan Hart are the linebackers. Cornerbacks are Sean George and Robert Ishaya. Safeties are Michael Wilhelm and Steve Lynn, who's also the starting quarterback. 3rd down. And I'll tell you, Lewis showing good arm on that last play.
He really is. He really did. And look for an option on this play. Watch him rolling out, Dan, and see if he can't find somebody in the flat here. They got a screenplay set up.
That's Ellis, who was in motion. He came back across, but he's tackled by a host of Falcons after a gain of about 2, and Los Lomas will be forced to punt here on their first possession.
Steve Lynn, he goes both ways, Dan. He was in on that tackle, and he did a good job. J.C. Lewis, we had a little trouble with the offense getting on TV, but first few plays he showed what he's made of. Little option quarterback, likes to throw on the run. He can run and he can throw. He got Davis on a first down. They got stumbled up a little bit right there, so now College Park is going to get a chance to show what they can do on offense.
Jim Kuhn will punt for Los Lomas. And one of the interesting things about this formation, Steve, is that Lewis remains out there. You might want to watch for a punt later in the game. Nice spiraling kick this time. Ishia will take that at about the 18-yard line. Here comes Ishia up the left sideline. Ishia still on his feet, and Ishia finally Or actually, it's Ishaya, I should say, not Ishia.
And there's a late flag that came in, Dan.
I actually wrote this down, some Ishaya, excuse me, not Ishia. Apologize for that mispronunciation. And there is the College Park starting offense. Steve Lynn at quarterback, Brady McClendon and Robert Ishaya at running backs, Michael Wilhelm and Sean George in some sort of weird formation.
Yeah.
That's when they run double wide receivers to the right side.
Doubles to the right.
And the tight end is Ken Mariner. Plath, Lance, LeBeau, Hildebrandt, and Russell are the line for the College Park Falcons. And there's a penalty on that return. It'll be a 15-yard penalty, and it's on Los Lomas. Let's go down to referee Tony Gisoletta. I think that was after the call is how you would. It was a personal foul on Los Lomas. So College Park in good field position to start this drive, Steve, at the 47-yard line.
They really are, and we're going to have a chance to see Steve Lynn and what he could do. Got to talk to his dad a little bit before the game, me and you. Seemed like a real nice guy.
And here's that veer option, and the handoff to the first back through is Shia, and he's tackled for a loss on the play. Looked like number 44 was Alex Madrid. Here's the defensive starters for Los Lomas. Swisher, Burrell, Carl, and Madrid across the line. Perron, Buena Corsi, and Lower the linebackers. And in the defensive backfield for Los Lomas, Knockman, Lawrence, Davis, and Walker.
And that was a real nice tackle by Madrid right there. He wrapped him up and got him for about no gain, Dan. Maybe a loss of a little couple.
They actually have Ellis listed as a starter. And I think it is Ryan Ellis who is the starter. Excuse me, I had mentioned Ryan Walker. So Ellis the starter on defense. Second down, 2nd and 12. A handoff this time to McClendon, and a swarming Los Lomas defense takes him down for another loss. So 2 plays and 3 lost yards for College Park, Steve.
Clint Burrell was in on that, Dan. He's 6'6", 220 senior. He goes both ways on the line, and he does a real good job.
They actually said that he might have gained a yard on that play, Steve. We're 3rd and 12, the ball at the 49-yard line of Los Lomas, 9:12 to go first quarter. No score tonight from Walnut Creek. Lynn rolling and overthrowing Sean George, the intended wide receiver. College Park will be forced into a kicking situation here, Steve. So far, both teams kind of trying to find their feet here.
Yeah, they really are, and right now it looks like Los Lomas is doing a pretty good job up front with their front four, Dan, and their defensive front four of Switzer, Madrid, Burrell, and Carl is doing a pretty good job up front right now in their first set, so we'll see how long that continues up front.
It looks like McClendon. I don't think it is, though. I can't see. It is McClendon, actually, who's kicking, and Davis is back deep, and they're going to let that one bounce, and it gets a good College Park. College Park is going to come out of this in great shape. That ball rolls all the way inside the 10, down at the 8-yard line. That's where Los Lomas will take over. Now, 8:51 to go first quarter, and let's take a look at our sponsors here. First of all, Rock Bottom Records out in Antioch, New Mecca Cafe of Pittsburgh. Images of 3 Hair Salon, S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstylists for Men, and Action Video, alongside our other sponsors tonight, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, and Paramount Technology. And, of course, due to our extended opening ceremonies in light of the tragedy this week, we were not able to mention them, so we'll make that up to them throughout the game tonight. First down, Los Lomas, the ball at their own 9-yard line. Lewis, a quarterback. This is Davis in motion near side, and he actually did hand off.
He handed off to Davis.
We have a very weird angle here tonight, Steve. We're a little low, so it's going to take some time to get used to it. Handed off to Davis, who was in motion. And not much of a gain. So far, Steve, other than that one pass play, neither team really doing much on offense.
No, they're just trying to fill each other out. It seems like it's early, and they're trying to see what is working right now. And right now, for both of them, I think Lewis, I think you're going to see him a little successful with the option, running out and making some room for him and giving him the option to throw or run. I think that's their best bet with him. He seems like he can do both. And I think look for him to get out in the flat and make some things happen, Dan.
One back behind Lewis, and there's a pitch to Knockman. Knockman has some room. He has a hole, and he's hit by one of the Falcons. That's McClendon with the tackle.
Picked up about 6 or 7 on that, Dan, and I think he's going to be a little bit short of a first.
They're actually bringing in the chains, it looks like.
Yeah, from this vantage point of view. Right, here's a replay. Here's a pitch, and he's running to the right side, Dan. He gets some tough yards there, and behind Bart and Schwartz on the right-hand side, and they picked up they're going to measure right now and see if they picked up the first down.
That's Schwark.
Schwartz.
Yeah, but
Okay.
you always tell me to tell you. So.
Well, let me know because I don't want parents screaming at me that I got their name wrong.
Well,
Schwartz.
you
Okay.
folks on this side of the hill have to realize that this is the first game we've ever done at Los Lomas High School. It's probably the first time I've ever seen this field. And it's a beautiful field, Steve. It kind of reminds you of Cal in a way. It's got the beautiful surroundings.
There's surroundings around it. Really does.
There's tightwad walkway right over there.
That's
with apartments, people hanging out on their balconies watching the game. So nice trees and a beautiful shot of the foothills as the sun goes down. It's a very pretty setting for high school football. And there's a shot of it right there. And if we can get a shot of tightwad tunnel over there, we might show this later. You can see people watching the game. And we'll be back here 2 more times this year. Acalanes visits on October 19th. And then, of course, the big season-ending game against Miramani on November 9th. And that weekend, Steve, we have 2 of the biggest games in local high school football, Miramani and Los. There's tightwad tunnel.
There it is. And there's a couple Cowboys up there, up on the hill. Here we go, Dan.
Here we go, third and
short.
1. Lewis the handoff, and a loss on the play. College Park read that play perfectly, Steve.
Yeah, they really did. Lewis was in on it. And is that 57? Here's a replay right here, Dan. Let's see if we can't get it up. They tried to go up the middle, and right there, number 31, 22.
That's Lynn.
Lynn, number 31, was in on
LaSala.
it. LaSala was in on it, and there was they swarmed him into a punting situation. So good defense by the Falcons.
Punter Kuhn in for his second punt here in the first quarter. And they have 2 backs, but they're 20 yards apart. Ishaya is 1. And that one is actually going to... Oh, he's in there to block. That was number 14, Ken Clark. This time, they're basically at the same point, Steve, so they're just playing field position right now. That ball at the 46-yard line, College Park takes over. 6:56 to go, first quarter, no score. And our first look at the College Park Falcons, Steve, I don't know if we ever did College Park even when they were back in the old Diablo Valley Athletic League, as they zoom in on us and then, of course, go back to the field after realizing they were zooming in on us.
Yeah, that's a scary thought. No, Dan, I think this is the first we've seen College Park, so
and
it's
I know
kind of exciting.
No, it's the first we've seen Liberty, but they kind of resemble, not Liberty Los Lomas, but they kind of resemble Liberty is
They
what
really
I was going to
do.
say, with those maroon and gold uniforms. First down. Lynn running the option, keeping the ball.
Fumbles.
I think he tried to pitch at the last second to the trailing back.
Ryan Pearson was in on it, Dan. Let's watch 54 on the outside coming up. There's the pitch. When he was in late, it was, I think it was 92 who was in on there, Dan. Did a real good job.
Burrell.
That's Burrell, and we've mentioned his name already a couple times. We see why they're high on him. He goes both ways and doing a good job.
The pitch was intended for Ishaya, and the fumble, an 8-yard loss. So 2nd and 18.
They got -9 yards rushing so far, Dan.
Wow.
So they need to get going.
Los Lomas' defense doing a great job, and then a
There's
procedure
movement.
penalty.
You got movement on the right-hand side.
Steve, we should warn the folks on this side of the hill that occasionally we'll throw a location at them.
Dead ball foul. Ball start. White.
Well,
Down remains 2.
if we didn't hear that guy the first time, we heard him that time.
We heard him that time. False start. It's 2nd, and Steve, we like to say 2nd and the 680 interchange. For
At
a
least
first
a
down
680 interchange for a first down. Right over where Bill Kepler has his golf repair shop. The
That's
coach
true.
right over there
That's true.
on the other side of the freeway.
While we have an opportunity, let's mention Bill Kepler. Steve Lynn is defensive coordinator and also the father of Steve Lynn, the quarterback. Scott Wood is the quarterback, and backs coach Brad Tubbs, Jim Cloward. Mike Formosa helps out as the JV coach over there, the coaching staff for College Park. And a number of these guys went to College Park.
And a little bit about Steve Lynn. He used to coach at Cal and coached at DVC, and now he's down here with his kid at the high school level and having a good time, enjoying it.
2nd and 22, ball at the College Park 42, handoff Ishaya, and Ishaya gets a couple, and then he's wrapped up. Number 26 on that tackle, Kevin Lowe, and a couple of helpers.
Let's watch Lowe here, coming up from his safety position. Works off a block and hits him head high on the numbers and does a real good job.
Patrick Clancy also in on that tackle for Los Lomas. 3rd, I don't know if they're calling a gain on that play at all. Looked like he gained a couple, but the scoreboard reads 3rd and 22. Actually, they're at the 46, so it's 3rd and 18 from the 46-yard line.
3rd and Heather Farms.
There you go. There you go. People know that one. And actually, I don't know if the Walnut Festival was canceled in light of our tragic events this week, but it's supposed to happen this weekend. Running the option, looking for a pass, pitching to McClendon. McClendon gets a couple. Another great defensive play. Number 26, Lowe was over there. Clancy was over there. I'm very impressed with Los Lomas' swarming defense, Steve.
Yeah, Patrick Clancy, he helped out on it, Dan, and I'm with you. So far, it looks like there were a bunch of bees running around that field. Here's a replay. Yeah, let's watch the replay right here, Dan. Here's Lynn getting some pressure, even from his backside, and right here he pitches it at the last minute, barely gets rid of it, and McClendon comes here. Watch the pursuit right here. Boom and boom. Good job by Los Lomas' defense.
Wasn't that Boom Boom Out Go the Lights? That was a big song back in the 70s for some of these kids.
Well, now they know how old we are over here. That's good.
That's a good punt. McClendon has at least kept them down in their own territory as Los Lomas will take this one over. This time we're waiting for the spot, but it looks like it's at about the 19-yard line of Los Lomas. 4:34 to go first quarter, and no score. Steve, our first ever game in the Diablo Foothill athletically.
Well, Dan, you know what? We've been really blessed the last couple of years in the late summer and early fall at the fields we've been at. It's been just beautiful weather we've had last couple of years, and it's been a pleasure to do them, and we're glad to bring them to the communities. And it's been a lot of fun, you know, getting to know the kids and the coaches, and this is going to be a good game. Right now they're still filling each other out, and this could come down to the fourth quarter or whoever makes the most mistakes in this game, Dan.
That's Davis, a fake to Davis, an inside misdirection handoff to Knockman, and Knockman has a first down out to the 34-yard line.
Nice misdirection, little fake picks, misdirection. They came back out on the left-hand side, Dan, and ran behind Miller and Pierce. Is that Pearson, Dan?
Perron.
Perron, I'm sorry, thank you, I couldn't read that. Ryan Perron and Miller, and they picked it up. Real nice misdirection play.
Wilhelm, the tackle for the Falcons, the second first down of the game for Los Lomas. The ball is spotted just inside the 35-yard line of the night. 4:20 to go first quarter. We'll be at Alhambra next week, Steve, for the first time. Lots of firsts out here at high school football.
Oh, you bet.
Lewis with one back. It's Swisher, and Swisher looks like a load.
He
it
looks
took
like
two
a
guys,
load.
number 23, Trumbley, and 74, Plath, to make that tackle. So
And
they run a bunch of guys at you, Steve.
Let's watch Switzer here from the line. Watch him get hit and carry these guys right here, Dan. There's about 4 or 5 yards right there moving the. He didn't move the sticks, but he picked up about 5 yards on it, Dan. So we got about a second, a little over 5, Dan.
No score in the first quarter tonight.
Los
hope
Lomas
you're,
looks like they're starting to loosen up a little bit on offense, Dan.
Loosening up just a little bit, trying to figure it out. There's a fake, and Lewis to keep
And there's room.
And Lewis has room. Lewis, a nice spin move, and then he's hit. Lewis inside College Park territory, inside the 40-yard line. George was there, initial tackle. Wilhelm also came over late, as well as Trumbley. Let's take a look at it, Steve.
Let's watch this replay right here, Dan. He fakes to his outside, runs to the outside, does a little James Brown right here. Watch this. Ha! Jump back, kiss myself right here. Does a nice James Brown move right there, picks up about 7 more yards, and moves the chains.
And you know what, Steve, on that play, that was one where the play before, as you see Coach Doug Longero there on the headset, the play before set up that play.
Oh, it definitely did, and that little misdirection let Lewis keep it, and they bid on the inside, and the outside was open up, and he took advantage of it.
Handoff Knockman. Knockman breaks a tackle. Another pursuit that time from number 37 of College Park, Kevin Peel.
Let's watch Lewis and Knockman run into each other kind of in the backfield. Kind of slows him down a little bit right here. But pure determination, he picks up about 4 or 5 yards, Dan. Real nice effort on his part.
4-yard gain for Knockman. Will be second down. 2:47 to go. Clock running here in the first quarter. No score, but Los Lomas on the first extended drive of tonight's game. Los Lomas, of course, 1-0 on the season and finished 11-2 last year. And College Park 0-1. They were 4-6 last year. Pitch to Knockman. Knockman has some room. But there's a penalty on the play, and that looks like it's in the area of holding.
It looks like that's going to be coming back, Dan, on your left-hand side. And that's a shame because it was away from the play. Didn't need to have to happen, but it looks like let's see what he calls.
Holding.
Yeah, you're going to get a hold. It's coming back. We've seen enough football to know when there's a holding call.
We know a few things about the game.
That will be a 10-yard penalty.
And I bet you they take it, Dan.
You are a machine on color commentary, I tell you.
I tell you, sometimes I kill me.
I can't believe that you're still here in high school football. You should be doing like at least the South
Holding
Dakota
here.
State.
We're going to repeat second down.
There we go. You should at least be like doing South Dakota State and Idaho Union tomorrow or something like that.
There is an Idaho Union?
Somewhere.
It's in the Union.
It's in the Union somewhere.
Okay. Here we go, Dan. We got about a second and about, quite a bit right here, about 16 to go. Let's see what Lewis can pull out of his hat right here.
It is second and almost into the Alamo Safeway for Los Lomas. Second and 16, ball at the 45-yard line. That's Knockman in motion near side. Lewis back to pass. Deep drop, and then he throws a pass low, but Burrell's able to corral it. McClendon makes the tackle. The tackle right at the 40-yard line. So it's going to bring up a 3rd and long for Los Lomas. We're about the 2-minute mark of the first quarter. Steve, I'll tell you what, there is a very good crowd out here tonight at Los Lomas High School.
You know, we first got here, there was like 3 people, so we've been here a long time. And right now, it's really amazing how many people have came out to support this game.
October 19th, it's the 50th anniversary of the school and homecoming when we do the Acalanes game.
Oh, great.
Acalanes, Clay Callum told me to.
Is that how,
it's
Clay,
Acalanes.
Did Clay tell you how to pronounce it?
Yes, he did.
He didn't know it until he started coaching there, so what's he done?
He actually, I think Clay went to Acalanes.
Oh, did he really?
Yes, I did. Lewis to pass on 3rd down.
Out,
he gets
look
away.
out.
Look at the elusiveness of Lewis, but that time he's wrapped up.
Yeah.
Number 31, Anthony LaSala, in on that tackle at the 45, and so Los Lomas will be forced to punt. But he's got some, he reminds me a lot of another quarterback, and I'll mention in a second, Steve.
And here he is. He's in a little bit of a trouble right now. Downfield is covered, and he almost gets out of it right here, but the downfield coverage.
Robert Ishaya.
Robert Ishaya, that's how you pronounce
Ishaya,
that?
yes.
Ishaya did a good job in the backfield and put him in a punting situation, Dan.
For the Walnut Creek folks, you might not remember, but for our Antioch and Pittsburgh and Brentwood folks that are watching tonight, Cy Simonton and J.C. Lewis, very similar in build, in elusiveness, in passing technique. And Simonton went on, to, of course, to play baseball at Fresno State. I don't think he fair caught that. That's Ishaya, but he did catch it. Looks like the 25-yard line, Steve. There's no yard markers.
It's hard.
It's very difficult to tell where the ball is. We're not very high in the stands, so we'll do the best we can to identify. Actually, it's at the 20-yard line. So first down, 44 seconds to go first quarter, and no score out here tonight. And so far, a battle of attrition, Steve.
Yeah, it really is. And right now, the Los Lobos defense is swarming all over the place, and their offense, it looked like they were mounting a drive right there. They kind of stubbed their toe a little bit there. But they've kind of changed field position a little bit here on this. We'll see what College Park does to answer as Lynn takes over here, Dan.
Here's Lynn, one of the 14 returning seniors for the Falcons, and he hands off to McClendon, the first back through. McClendon drives ahead for 7, probably their biggest gain of the night.
It is their biggest gain of the night. It's probably here's a replay right up here, Dan, and they're going to bust it off of the right-hand side here.
Actually, that's the left-hand side.
Is that the left? I kill you, don't I, Dan?
Yes, you do.
Hildebrandt and Willard. Good job by them guys opening up that hole.
I think that's the left-hand side. It looks like the right because you're looking to the right, but it was to the left.
Their left line.
See, I'm trying to explain on the telestrator. This is our telestrator. That's all we have up here tonight at Los Lomas High School. We don't have those fancy computerized type graphics. They might get this play off 6 seconds to go. Now, Lynn's going to let the clock run out. And we're going to close out the first quarter here at Los Lomas High School. End of the first quarter, no score. We'll be back to Los Lomas High School after this.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's.
Back at Los Lomas High School, start of the second quarter. No score tonight between College Park and Los Lomas. Dan Wall and Steve Sanchez, as always, with you. And after this play, we'll say hello to some of our great sponsors. 2nd and 4, ball at the 26. Lynn, a handoff. And this is a new runner in the game. This is Shorter. And Shorter comes near sideline, and he's wrapped up and tackled by Davis. It looked like he had yardage, but Davis closed and made a good tackle.
Yeah, Davis really did close up and make a good tackle. He wrapped him up, and let's watch it right here, the pursuit. Right here. Right here, he finds up. There's no holes up the middle. He makes a nice little move here. And here's Davis chasing him down on the outside, and he's going to run him down, too. So good speed by Davis, good open tackle, spins him around and says, you ain't going nowhere. Good job by Davis. College Park had 1 yard total offense in the first quarter, Dan.
I think they hope to improve on that.
Well, if they're going to score, I think they're going to have to.
If they're going to get over midfield.
But that shows you how good Los Lomas' defense is doing so far. They jumped, number 65 jumped.
That's an offsides penalty on Los Lomas, and that's going to give College Park
Ball
their
foul, encroachment here. That's a first down.
And that, all you have to do is listen to Tony Gisoletta to know that, Steve.
And you know, Dan, I was looking at that. Gisoletta, Lehman and them guys, we've had them before, haven't we?
Oh, yeah, well, Tony Gisoletta's been a referee here since you were knee-high to a grasshopper, Steve.
That's quite a while ago.
That was a while ago. Sal Gurley, Dave Gregory, and Arnold Lehman. Of course, Dave Gregory is a basketball official that we've had him on high school basketball many
That's where
times.
that name sounds familiar.
Yeah, Dave Gregory.
I've done basketball with you, haven't I?
You, yes.
Okay. I thought that was you.
My God.
Well, no, he was another good-looking guy. I don't know.
Lynn to pass on first down, rolling.
Rolling
Still
on a river.
Still rolling.
Throws
Throws
it
a
up in the
pass.
air.
Oh, it's almost caught.
Almost caught by 81.
Yeah, that was Michael Wilhelm, the intended receiver. A nice pass. But you can see that Lynn, his forte, Steve, is to run. As you can see, Lewis has a bit of a stronger, more accurate arm.
There's Perron right there, just makes mincemeat of the blocker there. Number 7 from Los Lomos is in pursuit of him.
No, it's Swisher.
Swisher in pursuit of him. And right here, he throws it downfield. And right here, Wilhelm almost comes up with it, but it kind of shoots out. And they're real high on Wilhelm. They like him too, Dan. He's a good wideout, and he usually he makes plays like that, but that one got away from him.
You can see College Park. That looks like blue. It's actually purple, and they've kind of borrowed the Atlanta Falcons logo. They are the College Park Falcons, Steve.
Yes, they are. And they've been the Falcons for quite a while.
Yes, they have, as long as I've remembered them. McClendon
There's a nice
breaks
move to
through,
the outside.
good yardage, and McClendon gets back 6 yards. Knockman with the tackle.
Knockman on the tackle, Daniel.
You can take a
Good
look
job.
at it here.
Right here, there's a nice hole open up, and he eludes one man. Here comes 42. He helps out a little bit, too. Real good job right there on the defense.
Ellis, the other tackler for Los Lomas. 3rd and 5. They'll call that a gain of 5. The ball at the 37-yard line of Los Lomas with 10 minutes and 10 seconds to go in the half, and no score. And this one is rolling by as we knock on wood, because every time we say that, then the quarter will take another
Something
45
happens,
minutes.
yeah. Well, right here, this is a big play, Dan, for the first half, because it's going to determine field position and what they could do right here. And they're starting to open things up. Let's see what Lynn's got up his sleeve.
Handoff McClendon. McClendon close to a first down. I think he's going to be about a yard short.
It depends where they mark it. I think he may come up a little short, too, Dan.
Lowe was in on that tackle, and you'll see it here on the...
Here's our replay. And they run off College Park's left side.
I think it was the left side that time.
Yeah, it was the left side behind Willard and Hildebrand again. They like that side over there, so they've been running behind them two guys, Jesse Hildebrand and Britt Willard. So they like what's happening on that left side so far.
This is the biggest play of the game so far. 4th and 1. You know what, Steve, though, in this situation, I would think this is going to be one of those long counts. I can't imagine them letting now they call timeout.
Yeah, they're going to think about it, and if they were going to do the long count, they just let the cat out of the bag. Because now the coach is going to talk to him, and that's the first thing he's going to tell him on defense. Don't jump.
Don't jump. So 9:35 to go in the half, no score. Our great sponsors tonight, of course, Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria, Brendan Theaters, Contra Costa Clean Water Program, Paramount Technology, Action Video, New Mecca Cafe, Concord Beverage, Rock Bottom Records, Antioch Opticians, Pantel's Music Box, S&S Imports, A&B Creative Trophy Images, a 3 Hair Salon, Mercado's Barbershop, and Golf and Games, as always, help us out, Steve. And you've got a note on Brady McClendon?
Yeah, he had 105 yards last week, and if I'm going to run a play right here, I like a little fake up the middle, a little lean around the right side, little fake, and little pinch to McClendon. Let's see if he can't pick it up. That's what I would call right here. He's been starting to run the ball pretty good with a little bit of authority. McClendon, he's getting his feet underneath him, so I'd try to go wide and pitch it to him. Los Lomas has been winning the battle up front on defense, so I'll try to get his speed to the outside right here. Let's see what they do, Dan.
The one thing College Park isn't blessed with is a power runner. They have a bunch
That's
of
right.
shifty, fast guys, but they don't have that real big power runner the way Los Lomas has Madrid and Swisher. So let's see what happens here, Steve. A big play, 4th and 1, the ball at the 42-yard line of the Falcons. 9:35 to go, first half, no score. And okay, if you're just going to let him do that,
Well, we'll just take that
here,
then.
just take that. That was, you know what that was, Steve? That was Lynn walking up, telling the center, the minute I say anything, give me the ball,
That's
and I'm
right.
going to go right through the hole. And
Let's
here
watch
it
the
is.
replay right here. You're right, Dan. And there was a big hole on the left-hand side. And I don't know if he didn't walk up to the line and just see that, Dan, right there, because there was an awfully big hole on the left-hand side right there of Lynn, and he might have just spotted that and took off. So I don't know. If they called that, that was awfully convenient for having nobody in that hole right there.
Well, I think they were just overexpanded on the ends trying to take away the pitch. So
First down Falcons, Dan.
first down, the ball at the 46-yard line. College Park on the move for the first time. And this is Lynn with the ball, and Lynn on the option gets about 3. 42 Ellis is in on that play.
Here's our little replay right here, Dan. He takes a couple steps back. You wonder if he's going to pitch. He kind of fakes a little pitch and turns upfield. And there's a swarm of Knights all over him. And
You
picked up about 3 or
Knights
4 yards.
swarm?
Knights can swarm if they're on horses and they have them long poles.
Oh, then they can swarm.
Then they can swarm.
Okay. Josh Bart also was one of the swarming Knights,
On
by the way.
defense.
Yes, he was there. Second, and they're going to call it 7. The ball right at midfield.
Is that even a word, Dan?
What?
Swarm?
Yeah, well, you can swarm, but the way you used it, I think people are probably rushing for their dictionary.
Okay. Well, there's a lot of smart people this side of the hill. I'm from Antioch. man.
Well, yeah, they're all going. Those are some Antioch boys.
Who are these guys?
McClendon the handoff. That's Bart. Was that Bart or number 56?
It was
I think
56.
that was Pippo. Now Pippo was one guy. His name looks like Pippo, and he actually pronounced it. Yeah,
P-I-P.
it's actually P-I-P-P-O, but you know.
Pippo.
Yeah,
That's
yeah,
him.
yeah, but not like Pipo or
Yeah.
or Peepo or something like that. That some of these other guys come out with.
Yeah, in other words, it's the way it looks is the way it is.
Thank you, Tom. 3rd and 5, 7:50 to go here in the first half, and Steve, we might have overtime tonight.
0-0.
It might go on for a while
I wonder
too.
how their kickers are. They got any special team kickers on these?
Well, Lynn is rearranging the offense. McClendon went over into the flat, and he's lined offset off the line here with one back and a fake and a
he's in
great
trouble.
pursuit, but
Oh,
Lynn
nice
gets away,
move.
and now he throws a pass, and I think it fell incomplete. The pass intended for McClendon, and College Park will be forced to kick once again.
Morrell was in on that, Dan Clint Morrell, and he pursued him. And Lynn was lucky to even get away from him on that, Dan, and made a real good athletic play just to escape him, to elude him, and did a good job. McClendon's back deep to punt, and the Knights are going to come at him again, Dan.
Game is back to return.
McClendon the punt. Good kick this time. They're going to let that one roll. And the ball is down this time inside the 10-yard line of Los Lomas. That's where the Knights will take over with 7:13 to go first half. No score, Steve. Don't forget to join us next weekend when we travel to Alhambra for the first time, Steve. And it's Alhambra and the Concord Minutemen.
The last time I was on Alhambra Drive, Dan, they kept driving past the high school and went down a little bit farther, a few more blocks on the
For
right-hand
Tolas?
side. No, the county jail.
There's a couple of scouts for Alhambra up
There
there.
they are.
They're up there. They're writing down all the plays.
Uh-huh.
As tomorrow night, Alhambra played last night. I hadn't had even a chance to open the paper, Steve, and look to see if Alhambra won, but they played Mount Diablo. I would assume they were favored, but we'll see. Miramonte plays Dublin
That's a
tomorrow
nice
night.
play, Dan.
Nice pass out in the flat to Swisher, and Swisher is taken down by Lowe on the tackle, but not before he gets a first down on a very nice play.
And let's watch this replay, Dan. And let's watch 22, Steve Lynn, on this too, Dan. Here he is going back, and right here's a pass on the flat. Now watch Lynn come in from nowhere and kind of take his feet out from under him. Number 22, real nice hit.
Oh,
by
that
Lynn.
was Lynn. I thought it was Lowe. So Lynn made the tackle, not Lowe.
Lynn got low.
Lynn got Lowe.
There you go. I
I
knew
know
we
it.
were on the same
Yeah,
page on
thank
that
you.
one. All right. That's a football, Dan, right there.
Yeah, well, you know, Steve,
Huh? Am I learning?
you're so much better than the first year we did
I
this.
tell you, it's coming to me, Dan. It's
This
amazing.
time, they line up in the eye, and then Swisher offsets. and a fake, and here's Lewis to pass. Oh, he has Swisher in the flat, and there's no one near him. This looks like the Cal game last week. Swisher gets a block, and Swisher is out to the 50-yard line. Great tackle by Shorter, and also number 81, Wilhelm in there. Look at this, Steve.
Yeah, watch this replay, Danny. You're right. This looks like BYU right here against Cal last week.
I was there.
And right here, I know you didn't stay for the whole game, though. And right here, he's just heading up ahead of steam right here, and he picks up about 25 yards and has a real good play right there at the end of the run.
Timeout College Park. Steve, last week that play before the end of the half was one of the most pitiful plays I've ever seen in the history of college, high school, arena, USFL, XFL, in the playground. Any place I've ever watched a football game, it's the last play of the half. All you have to do is tackle the guy. You know they're going to send guys either deep or decoy. Well, everyone for Cal went with the decoys, and the guy just ran right down the field for a touchdown.
I seen it, and I couldn't believe it, and I
was
said,
horrible.
you deserve to lose. I think we're
And they
going
did.
to a break, aren't we?
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love seat chairs.
What you doing, Dad?
I'm just getting rid of my old used motor oil.
Back to live action. We'll get back to that commercial. Those are some very cute commercials.
They
for
really
the
are.
Clean Water program. Matt looks especially cute in his oil can.
Get up.
That get up that he
Look at
wears.
this, Dan.
Lewis on the keeper, and Lewis a first down.
Picks up about 11 or 12 yards.
So with 6:22 to go in the half,
You know what Lewis was doing? He was sitting on the sidelines. He seen Lynn do that keeper. He goes, hey, wait a minute. I could do that one, too. We do that at practice once in a while.
that's very, for some reason Matt really likes this tonight. It must be my shirt. Must be my shirt. What do you think, Steve? Do you like this shirt? It's one of my favorites. Don Ho, thank you.
Is that
So
what he
this
calls
looks
you?
like Don Ho.
He's Mr. Brady. Give me a break.
This looks about as much as Don Ho. Well, Steve
Yeah.
kind of looks like Don Ho.
I'm a fat UPS guy. That's all I am.
All right, Davis, it was
Here
in
we go.
motion. Knockman, misdirection, handoff back to the left side. And number 21, Shorter, makes the tackle.
Pick
And
up
Los Lomas moving the ball, Steve. They've moved about 60 yards here in 4 plays.
A pickup of about 8 yards, a little misdirection here. And he's off the left-hand side of Los Lomos, and he picks up about 8 yards here, Dan. And Perron and Miller opened up the left-hand side for him again. They've been over there a couple times behind them guys.
You like those line chart things, don't you?
I really do, Dan,
Man.
because I think kids in high school sports don't get enough recognition on the line.
Oh, and I think, didn't you play line in high school? Don't even use that line. I know where you're going.
I'm not going to do it.
Don't do it. Lewis to
Look at
pass.
this, Dan. It's
Oh,
wide
Burrell's
open.
Burrell. Oh, in and out of the hands of Burrell at the 4-yard line. Coverage came from Wilhelm. Also on that play, Shorter. Man, that was a beautiful pass.
Let's watch the replay right here, Dan. And Lewis, he puts it right where Burrell can get to it. And at the last minute, watch Wilhelm's hands get in there, Dan. Watch this right here. The last second. He's got a touchdown? No, he doesn't. He just comes out right at the last minute. He got his hands in there, and he saved 6, and Los Lomos is starting to open it up, and we had a flag on the play anyway, so all this talking I just did don't mean nothing.
I think it'll be a holding penalty.
Jeez.
It is holding.
Did you tell me there was a flag?
Well, I didn't see it. There's
Oh,
enough
there's
flags
there's
around
a
here.
flag.
Yeah,
There's
well,
all
those
the
are the best
United
kind of
States
flags
flags
this week.
right
That's
now.
right.
We all got our Superman flags on this week.
That's the best flag right now.
I tell you, driving around in my UPS truck today, man, it was unbelievable how many flags I seen today. And that's just in Antioch, so I know they're all over the country. And them guys pulled us together, I think, Dan.
That's right.
That's one thing they did do.
2nd and 20. Oh, nice
throw.
pass to
Look at
Davis.
it. Look at that
Davis,
catch.
a great catch.
And
Hit
Lynn-
by Lynn.
Lynn gave him a lick, but Davis came up with it. Let's watch the replay right here. He's tall in the pocket, about a 5-6 step drop. Takes his time, and he does look like Cy Simonton, Dan.
He does.
And he throws it right there, right on the money, and watch its lick. Boom!
Oh.
By Lynn. Lynn, boy, he can play.
Lynn has been talked about by his coaching staff and by others as one of the better athletes around here. He's obviously being looked at some major colleges. We heard Oregon State might be looking at him.
Well, you know, they went up to Ashland, Oregon and played last week, and there were some recruiters from Oregon State there looking at some guys from Ashland, and they really liked Lynn, and they told his dad, we want him. So it looks like he's going to get a chance to go to Oregon State and play some football if he wants. Let's watch this hit one more time, Dan.
Okay. That's for people who have had
Wow,
way
what
too
was
much
that?
coffee.
Okay, right here. Here we go. Right here. Here comes Lynn. Lowers it, just gives him a shot.
Man.
Davis gets right up, though.
He says if you're going to catch it, you're going to get it.
Davis last week had 5 catches for 125 yards and 2 TDs, Dan, in their win over Piedmont. And that's a pretty good way to open up the season.
Did you say Davis? Or did you say Lynn?
No, I said Davis.
Okay, I just wanted to check.
I might have said Lynn, though. But you
It
got
was
me scared
Davis
now.
who had all the catches.
Yeah, it was Davis who had 5 catches. I said Davis.
Let's take a look at next week, folks. We have the graphic ready for you next week. Concord and Alhambra. We have a nice little bulldog there. I don't know if it's going to come up, but if it doesn't, I'll tell you anyway. The Concord and Alhambra, Saturday and Sunday. It's set, and there it is. Saturday and Sunday next week, 7 p.m. right here on AT&T Broadband. And the following week, College Park in Campolin. Why are you?
Where's the Minutemen?
I don't know that there's a lot of Minutemen out there. So you can steal bulldogs and knights and stuff like that from other. There's not a lot of Minutemen. Was it isn't Boston or Boston College or someone like that the Minutemen? I don't know.
Well, that's where they came from, Dan. In the the 1700s, it was the Minutemen.
Well, that's what they are, and hopefully by next week we'll have a little graphic for the Minutemen too.
Them guys must be old.
3rd and 1.
Here we
Ball
go,
just
right
inside
here.
the 30-yard line. Lewis, with the keeper, and Lewis had the first down. Tackled by LaSala. First down, Los Lomas. Clock will run as soon as they set the mark, and we'll take a look at
Here's
it.
a little replay. It's just a little keeper down the line right here. You get some good blocks. And right there, number 31 from College Park comes up, Dan, and makes a nice hit. And you going to tell me his name, Dan, because I can't pronounce it?
It's LaSala.
Thank you very
like
much.
a veal marsala, but a La Sala.
But he picks up the first down. And right now, you can kind of tell Los Lomos is starting to feel pretty good about their offense right now. They're moving the ball on them, and right there, that was a little mix-up right there. Of course, right when I say they're doing good, they run into each other.
That was Lewis tackled by Swisher, his fullback.
And Swisher's hurt.
That looked like that play in the Jets game. Was it the Jets game? Yeah, remember the play in the Jets game where they put the lineman in the backfield and he ran into Testaverde and they ran the ball 95 yards the other way? There was some really interesting plays. Obviously, there won't be any this week, but we will take this weekend to reflect and remember the people that we lost in this tragedy this weekend, and we'll get back to the normal everyday routine hopefully next week.
Tolbo put it best. He said, we're a boxer. We're down for the 8 count. Let's don't get up at 2. Let's stay down for 8.
Stay down, and then when we
down,
get up,
and when we
we're
get
never
up,
going down again.
That's right. We're not going down again. This fight's not over.
Lewis rolling.
Right here. He's in trouble right here. This is set up perfectly.
Burrell has a wide open field.
What's
Here's
this?
Burrell, and Burrell taken on head-on by number 21, Shorter, but not before he gets a first down. I'll tell you, College Park's got to be kicking themselves. This has happened all night long.
Look at Burrell right here. He looks like Mark Matson on the outside. He's that big, Dan. Look how tall this kid is. Right here, he gets to the outside. Looks like he gets some rebounds for you, Dan. We might be seeing him in the basketball season. But he's got some long strides, and right there, his knee kicks Shorter right in the face, but he makes a nice tackle.
That looked like something The Rock would do to Stone Cold Steve Austin. But, Steve, you know what they're doing?
It don't matter
what your name is. But anyway, they're running the tight end back around through the line and then running the screen to him. It's a play you don't see a lot. Usually he runs behind and in front of the line.
It's kind of a misdirection screen, the kind De La Salle uses, Dan, but they're using the tight end to do it, and I like that play. It's a good play.
Knockman the handoff, but a penalty flag on the play, and this one's going to come back, so we won't even comment on it, Steve.
No.
Steve, we talked about
got legal motion.
Bill Kepler and his staff. Let's talk a little bit about Doug Longero and his staff. He went to Milpitas High School, played at UC Davis. Bill Neal, the offensive coordinator, played at Hayward State. He was not aware of Jim Magana's records over there.
Are you kidding me?
I couldn't believe it. Also, Don Bradshaw is an assistant coach here, and Warren Parker. One of their coaches isn't here. I forget which one it was.
He's stuck in Minnesota.
Stuck in Minnesota.
Yeah, that's what the coach was telling us. And he says if you...
There's a look at the coaching staff.
Shift here. Repeat first down.
So hopefully he'll make it home. The athletic director here at Los Lomas is Linda Sawyer. Los Lomas High School is a great setting for high school football in the entire history of football.
I felt like El Michaels there for a while in the World Series. I started waiting for something to start shaking below my feet.
This is the way things are right now. Every time your phone goes dead or something happens, you kind of look around and just want to make sure that everything's normal. I hate to say that that's the feeling, but it is the feeling.
Can I ride home with you tonight?
Yes. You can ride home with me tonight, Stevie.
Okay. Here we go, Dan. Big play right here.
2nd and 15. 3:43 to go in the half. Lewis to pass. This time, once again, into the end zone, Burrell. And Burrell has it.
Touchdown.
Touchdown, Los Lomas. An 18-yard pass from Lewis to Burrell, and Los Lomas gets on the board first, striking first blood at 6-0, Steve. And let's take a look at this one.
Well, I like this play right here, Dan, because what you do is you tell your 6'6" guy, hey, go out there about 15 yards and turn to the left. I'm going to throw this up here. That guy watching you's 5'10", so I think you're going to be able to get to it before he does. So what they did, they just did a little down and out right there to the corner of the end zone, and he threw it up for grabs, and good call.
We don't have a replay of that. I think we still have a couple of technical difficulties that we're trying to work out after we lost our power. We'll try to get back to them. That's the I believe that's the offensive coordinator. But that kick was probably not meant to be, Steve. That ball didn't get 4 feet off the ground.
Well, it wasn't the kicker's fault. The holder had a little problem with the snap, Dan, and he wasn't able to sit it the way he wanted to, and it made the kicker look pretty bad, but it wasn't really his fault.
Well, that was Richie Spidell who grabbed us in the locker room and wanted to remind us that his name is Spidell and not Spidell.
Yeah. Well, Richie, that wasn't your fault, buddy. Right there, the coach is talking to the holder right there, and he wants to know what happened, and he's looking at his hand. He says, I had some stickum on my hand.
Well, Lewis is saying, did you see the pass I threw?
Yeah. He goes,
what,
yeah.
What are you talking about?
Yeah. I may not have held the ball, but I threw a great pass.
So Lewis so far tonight, 7 of 11 for 107 yards and the touchdown, and Burrell has caught, I think that was his third catch of the night, as we look for Burrell. 37 yards of total reception yardage for Burrell. So Burrell has been the big cog in the Los Lomas offense tonight. They've kind of shut down Davis except for a couple of catches.
Yeah, they really have, Dan, but that was a real nice drive by Los Lomas, and you could just kind of feel their offense coming together against College Park right now. You know, they're starting to open up a little bit, and Lewis is starting to get his feet comfortable. You know, he's only a junior, Dan. He started for Benicia last year as a sophomore, and they expect, if you can imagine, how good he's going to be next year as a senior.
Well, Los Lomas scored 28 points last week, 21 in the second quarter against Piedmont, and here's the kickoff and a fumble on the kickoff. McClendon recovers it, though, and then McClendon has yardage. McClendon, if he can get outside, but he's drugged down. A good tackle that time on special teams from number 70, Mike Fambrini.
Fambrini did a real good job on that right there on special teams. He's going to stay in on defense. And if they would have got around him, he probably would have had an open field. He had some people pursuing from the outside, but real good play by him on special teams.
The ball at the 27-yard line, 3:28 to go in the half. Los Lomas 6, College Park nothing tonight on your AT&T Broadband High School Game of the Week. We'll be here every Saturday and Sunday night, and maybe a bonus game. We'll let you know about that next week.
That'd be fun to do. Any bonus game's good. I like bonus games.
I just like games.
Yeah, me too.
Let's go do a game.
I think Lynn needs to open up the offense a little bit and throw the ball a little bit more, Dan.
Lynn keeper, round right end, and Lynn, that time, not just tackled, but accosted by C.J. Lawrence.
Well, he picked up about 7 yards, Dan, on that play right there, ran to the outside. Here's your little replay right here. It's just a little fake handoff right here. A couple guys bite on it right there, and the pitch guy goes wide, and right here,
look at McClendon, though. McClendon could have ran down to the Dublin pack and save and ran back with a six-pack.
And there is a Dublin pack and
you.
save, you know, because I know you've been there.
It's one of my accounts.
On account of what? On account you have no beard? I'm going to stop it there?
Yeah, I'm going to stop there. I have a six-pack of squirt, though, for Mr. McClendon. 2nd and 3, a gain of 7 on that last play, and here's a handoff, first back through. That's number 21, Shorter, and Shorter is near first down as the clock is going to run until they probably determine that they're going to have to measure this, and I think they might call for a measurement here, Steve.
Yeah, they're going to call for a measurement, Dan. It's pretty close, and they're going to bring the chains out and see what they got.
No, they're going to call it 3rd down. See, I knew they weren't the minute you said they were.
Yeah, that's the kind of guy I am. You know what I mean? I'll set you up real easy.
You usually do. The minute you said there'll be a measurement, I knew there'd be no measurement. Nice hairdo right there.
There's my son.
That is not your son, but he does have a hairdo similar to that. That's one of our cameramen's sons.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know which one, but one of them. It's yeah.
Well, he was.
Oh, here's a handoff. Is shy. He just needed to make one more break. And that's Fambrini again from behind to drag him down, but College Park on the move with a first down.
Let's watch this move right here, Dan. And right here, he cuts to his left-hand side. There's a big old hole. You drive a truck through it, and Fambrini comes from the outside and tackles him. And if he doesn't do that, he's got a chance for about another 20, 30 yards. So College Park is moving.
That'd be a UPS truck you could drive through?
Sure you could.
Okay. Some other games around the area tonight. Pittsburgh is playing Oakland Tech. Antioch is playing Granada. That would have been a good game.
That should have been interesting. Granada got them last year 41-0. I think Antioch's looking for a little revenge. We'll see what happens.
Lynn with the ball. Gets outside of a rushing Perron. Still on his feet but drugged down, and a penalty, and that might be a face mask.
Could be, but the way they threw it down on the guy. And number 32 was the Los Lomos player in pursuit. See if I can pronounce his name, Dan.
Well,
C.J. Lawrence.
If he's down, stay off.
Gee, you can't get C.J. Lawrence?
Oh, foul. Personal here. Take it 15.
Tony didn't go to like the real politically correct NFL school of official calls, did he?
Well, you know, I thought that.
It'd get off him, go 15,
you
move the
know,
ball.
Well, it sounded like he got fouled, you know, so I didn't, you know, he sounded a little upset about the whole thing, you know?
A 15-yard penalty tacked onto that gain, a first down for College Park, a minute 32 to go, clock running, the ball at the 27-yard line. Falcons trail by 6. Been a good game here so far.
You give a man a whistle, you don't know how much power he thinks he can have, Dan.
Fennessy in at quarterback.
Right there, there's Lynn on
Throws
the
a pass.
slant. Nice.
That's not
Wilhelm.
Lynn, that's Wilhelm.
I'm ahead of you.
Every guy you say is Lynn. You think the whole team is Lynn.
I said Linda Wilhelm.
Well, it's Fennessy.
Oh, he's in the quarterback. See, they switched him on me.
I told you Fennessy was in a quarterback.
Here you go. Let's watch the replay. Here's Fennessy, Dan, right here. And number 4, you're absolutely right. Takes a quick 3-step drop. Throws it over the middle to Wilhelm, or a little slant right there. Not a whole lot you could do right there. And College Park is moving the ball. Dan.
You know, I think you should get what they should have is they should have you in the booth, and they should have Dennis Miller in the booth. And some of the country, like the people who can understand even 10% of what he's saying, gets that feed. And then the rest of us who drink beer and eat pizza get your feed.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Well, I think you're better than all of them myself. You know, I'm the guy here weighing you down and stuff. But
no,
what the
I'd
heck?
rather do the game with you and my friends than with all those people. And be here with my beautiful wife, Selena, who I'm saying hello, who's at home tonight, and hopefully watching the game tomorrow night.
She will be.
Does your wife watch the game with you?
Yeah, she watched it last week with me, critiqued me, and I was crying when she was done with me.
Take a look at our sponsors once again here, Rock Bottom Records, New Mecca Cafe, love the burritos, Images of 3 Hair Salon, S&S Import Service, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophies, Mercado's Hairstylist for Men, and Action Video.
In Walnut Creek Action Video.
That's right.
We got one over the hill here. Them other people going, who are them other people?
2nd and 3. Fennessy rolling. Fennessy has
This
that.
is set up.
Oh.
He just didn't reach him.
He had it set up.
Oh.
And a penalty flag comes in late. That was James Whiteneck in the game. And if he had gotten the ball to Whiteneck, he had the entire offensive line out there to lead him into the end zone.
Yeah, and they set that up real well. And he just didn't finish. He just didn't put a little enough on it to reach him. And that could have been major trouble if he would have caught the ball right there because he had an escort.
But no, it is not.
Let's see what Tony has to say.
Eligible man downfield.
I think the entire line was ineligible, Steve. I think that's why the play looked so good.
There was a lot of guys down there waiting for him to catch the ball. I know that. So one of them must have been a lineman.
Well, yes, and it was that's a loss of.
Now there's a heck of a stat, Dan. Jacob Fennessy's 1 for 1 for 8 yards.
Well, now he's 1 for 2 for 8 yards.
Yeah, we got to keep up with this, huh?
Well, that play must not have counted though because of the
There's
penalty.
a penalty.
Yeah, so he's still 1-1 for 8 yards.
Oh my God, I'm dizzy.
It can't be 2nd and 8 from the 25-yard line. Well, I guess it is 2nd and 8, but I'll tell you, trying to trust the scoreboard sometimes is a whole nother matter. The ball is at the 25.
You got Lynn off to the left. He's still in the game because he's such a great athlete.
Oh,
Let's
it's
see
a
what
5-yard loss.
And they're
but
trying to go to
lost it
Lynn
down.
over the middle, and Fennessy throws it
Do you
to
want to do
Bob
play-by-play?
No. I'm getting carried away, ain't I?
My goodness. I'm trying to set up the play, and you're calling it for me.
Okay, I'll tell you what. You know what? The cappuccino's kicking in. I'm going to sit down.
There we I'll tell you. Steve Sanchez, he's back, folks.
Jeez,
This guy,
I need to calm down.
I was trying to figure out why it was 2nd and 3 from the 25 after everything that happened. It's because it was a loss of down and a 5-yard penalty. Now it's 3rd and 8 from the 25, and Fennessy to pass again, and he's got a receiver, and he's open, and he makes the catch. And what's the call?
It's got to be a touchdown. What's he not raising his hands for?
It's not in the end zone, though,
Oh,
Steve.
okay. That's why.
But it is complete.
That's why he's not raising his hands. Let's watch this, Dan. Fennessy rolls out to the right here a little bit, or steps back in the pocket. Just a 3-step drop. Puts it up in the air right here. And is that Wilhelm?
It is Wilhelm.
Wilhelm, that's not a catch.
But they gave it
They
to
gave
him.
it to him.
It was either Wilhelm or Shorter. I think it was Wilhelm, though. Yeah, Wilhelm's a little out of breath. There's a timeout called with exactly 1 minute to go. Second quarter, 6-0 Los Lomas, but lost College Park at the 1-yard line, Steve.
And you know what, Dan? We got another good one on our hands.
Well, so, Steve, we write down a lot of stuff here. One thing we didn't mention, we mentioned Brian Luke, who played at Los Lomas last year and went on to Kansas. They also had 3 other players, Dan Elbana, Chris Biebel, and Mike Shear. Now, listen to these stats.
Okay.
How many times in your life as a coach are you going to have a 2,800-yard passer, a 2,000-yard runner,
Wow.
and a 1,400-yard receiver?
You're going to be putting up some points, that's for sure.
As you can see, the head coach, Longero, there, and we'll have them on a couple more times this year. That game against Miramani, with their big stud quarterback that Miramani brings in, Guillen, man, that is going to be a game.
Yeah. And Miramani's always leader of the pack, in their league, it seems like. They're always up there.
Well, I can tell you, Floyd Burns said, the head coach over there, last year they were 11-1, 9-0 in the league. Mark Guillen and Eric Carey, and also Brendan Wright, the big players for Miramani. And Miramani plays Dublin as this game is being aired, and we might have to go down and watch that game tomorrow night.
I ain't doing nothing else.
Okay. First and a goal from the 1-yard line. 1 minute to play. 6-0 Los Lomas. College Park about ready to go in.
What's the quarterback keep again, Dan? It's open.
Yeah, and he went right in.
Yeah.
it was a no-brainer, Steve. Touchdown Falcons, and we're all tied up out here 6-6 on a 1-yard run by Steve Lynn.
Dan, in the years doing our high school games, the one thing I noticed that's so important that you don't see a whole lot of are good extra point kickers. You notice that? I mean, ever since Eric Johnson left Cal.
I think he left Antioch
or
to
Antioch,
go to
Stanford. I haven't seen one.
Well, here's Dan Gressang on, and the
Dan.
holder is Fennessy, and here's the kick, and I think that I don't know what happened there.
I don't see no hands. I see flags.
It wasn't good. There's flags everywhere. It's the United Nations of football out there right now.
Let's see if we can't sort this out.
But Steve, you're right. Pittsburgh for years traditionally was horrible punting and kicking.
Right.
But then again, when you're scoring on 78-yard runs, it doesn't make that much of a difference. But Antioch, when they had Eric Johnson, he was an offensive
The white
himself.
team did not have enough men on the line. Here, the penalty is declined. There's no point.
Well, we got a tied game, Dan.
And it's par for the course. It's 6-6. Here's a replay of the touchdown, Steve.
And here it is. It's just it's Lynn on the quarterback keep. And that play's been there for 3 yards all night, so he said, I'll take it in from here. This is an easy one.
Good game so far tonight from Los Lomas. Don't forget to join us next week. Alhambra and Concord. Here's just some of the games you can watch this year on AT&T Broadband. Camp Alindo at College Park on the weekend of the 29th.
That's going to be a DVC. That'll be
Deer
fun.
Valley at Antioch.
All Antioch.
That's a big one. De La Salle at Pittsburgh. And can you believe what De La Salle did to Buchanan after
what? Yeah.
Pittsburgh one-point game, and then De La Salle goes and just buries them. 58-0 before Buchanan even had a big drive. Unbelievable. Acalanes, as Clay Callum would say, at Los Lomas right here on
get
the
to
week
do the
of the
Knights
20th.
again.
Antioch at Ignacio at DVC. As you see, take a look at our schedule at Saturdays and Sundays at 7 p.m. If we can get that graphic on, we'll show it after this, and we'll wrap up that schedule as we get ready for the kickoff. The kicker is Willard. And here is a kick. It's low, and it's on the ground, and Nachman's going to let it roll into the end zone. And it's actually out of bounds, so they're going to have the option of taking this one up the field with 57 seconds to play. Let's take a look at that schedule as it fades in there very nicely. Clayton Valley at Antioch, of course. Miramani at Los Lomas, Antioch at Pittsburgh. Unbelievable final weekend here on AT&T Broadband. And then, of course, Steve, basketball, baseball, pro wrestling, and tube radio.
And that's going to be a lot of fun. And what's nice about this schedule is we are showing all these games from the Collicott Tunnel to Discovery Bay. So everybody gets to watch them. The people over here will be able to watch the big little game, Antioch Pitt. The people over in Antioch will be able to watch Miramani at Los Lomas. And so we're...
it's good for high school football.
It is. We're showing games all over the county. And it's kind of nice. And there's no more Bay TV, so we're the only gig in town. And like our motto is, you're stuck with us.
That's our motto. Unfortunately, this weekend we are the only game in town, and we hope that everything gets back to normal soon. Lewis and Lynn are just doing the same exact thing out there, Steve. They're emulating each other, and Lynn that was Lewis that time, and he went right up the middle on a keeper and has a first down. 51 seconds to go and the ball all the way out to the 46-yard line. Los Lomas could go in and score right now, Steve.
Well, Dan, the way they're starting to open up on offense a little bit right now, Lewis is starting to feel comfortable, and it seems like he's starting to move things around a little bit, and he's taking what the defense is giving him, and they look like they're pretty sure about themselves. The way they've been moving the ball the last couple times they had the ball, they may run out of a clock here on this drive right here. But as a coach, I'd feel good on about my offense the way they're moving the ball against College Park right now.
Well, you mentioned some of the stats from last week, Steve. We mentioned that Lewis threw for 246 yards last week against Piedmont. And, of course, Davis had the 5 catches for 125. And Burrell had 4 catches for 91, so they did use him as we see a great shot of the student body here at Los Lomas here out in force tonight. A great crowd out here tonight.
Oh, great crowd.
There was not that many people here before.
There really wasn't.
And now the place is darn near packed, and there's a lot of people on the track. And it's a very nice atmosphere out here at Los Lomas High School tonight. 6-6, 51 seconds to go in the half. A good game so far, very evenly matched.
Well, it really is, Dan. The first quarter, they were kind of filling each other out and kind of, going back and forth, a few 3 and outs and back and forth. And right now, College Park answered with a nice drive of their own. But Los Lomas has been feeling pretty good about themselves offensive-wise, Like I said, they may run out of clock here. We'll see what they do with 51 seconds left, Dan.
Lewis rolling, and he likes to roll to the other side and throw back against his body. He throws this time to Davis. Oh,
nice
Davis
catch.
made a great catch.
Nice catch.
A juggling catch, reaching behind himself. The coverage that time from 21 shorter as we get another look at it.
Well, right here, Dan, he rolls out, and like you said, it's against his body. He's going the other direction, and he throws it right here, and watch him reach back. It's behind him. He taps it and then puts it up in the air and makes a great catch. Good effort.
Clock running with 40 seconds to go. First down, the ball at the 38. Lewis to pass again. Lewis rolling. He's got a pocket. He sees a hole. He takes off up the middle, and he's up to the 33-yard line on another keeper.
And they call timeout with 29.5 seconds left, Dan. So they got an opportunity right here. They're on about the 32. Let's watch a replay right here, Dan. Right here, he rose to his throwing side, and right here, he's looking downfield, and I guess there's nothing there, and he decides just to tuck it and go, and there's a little hole right there, and he picks up about 10 yards, close to, and I'm sorry, Dan, he picked up about 7 yards. There's second down about 4.
It's actually 2nd and 5.
Okay, he picked up 5 yards.
That was 74 Plath and Russell on the tackle.
See what happens? I'm doing my play-by-play or my replay, and I'm doing it, and then when the play comes up, I still think I got to stop. Yeah.
There's a future Raider right there.
A future Raider. He's a future Niner. That kid was raised wrong. His dad made him wear that shirt.
So Los Lomas has an opportunity. Second down, the ball at the 33, 29 seconds to go. 6-6 right before halftime here. And we've had a good one so far, Steve. And there's Matt Bolander must have some sort of thing for us. He loves my shirt. Can you believe that?
That's a nice shirt. I like it too.
I like it. It's one of the few I actually dry clean.
Huh?
It's one of the few I actually dry clean.
Here we go. 2nd and 5 for the night.
I don't let my wife ruin it. I take it to the dry cleaner.
Oh,
Offside on College Park.
That's going to cost him 5. And that's going to make it real close to a first down. They'll probably have to measure after they step it off.
Dead ball foul, encroachment, white.
It looked like LaSala, but then again it looked like someone who's not as smaller than LaSala. So I'm trying to figure out exactly who it was, but looked like LaSala.
We'll give him a break and say we don't know who was offside.
Yeah, someone was offside for College Park. You see Davis' stats. That was his first reception. I know he has another one. So
he's got another one.
That was his second
He's
reception.
got 2 catches.
He's got about 2 catches for 40 yards, so we'll have to check the stats at halftime. 29 seconds to go, 6-6. Here's Lewis to pass. Goes into the end zone. Burrell again, the target. Oh, and you know what, Steve?
Burrell pushed off.
But it was a very good play. But Burrell has had 2 other catches he could have made down there, and he's dropped 2. And other than the one nice touchdown pass,
that was a real nice effort right there. It looked like he pushed off a little bit at the end, and he got away with one. And it just eluded him. Lewis put it right where only he could get it, and he did a real good job. And it just got out of his reach. Let's watch a replay right here, Dan. Let's see if we can't see the push off here. I don't know if our camera's going to follow 92 all the way down. They're going to stay with the quarterback. You're not going to be able to see it. But anyway, you'll see him go up at the end right there, and he could have caught that ball. It was right through his hands.
3rd and 1. The ball at the 28-yard line, 23 seconds to go. Here we go again. Lewis, deep drop. Lewis looking. Oh, and he's got a receiver. That's number 22, Walker. And Walker is inside the 10-yard line, down to the 8-yard line. Tackled that time, Steve, by Ken Clark.
16.9 seconds to go, Dan. They stop the clock to move the chains. Los Lomas is hurrying up. Let's see what they do, Dan. Do you spike it, take a little time, Dan, or do you take a shot in the end zone?
I'd spike it right now with 16 seconds.
Let's see what they do.
I don't know how many timeouts they have, Steve.
Okay.
They might have called 2 plays in the huddle, though, Steve. And he does spike it, although he ran halfway back into midfield to do it.
Yeah.
That was the farthest spike from center I've ever seen.
It really was. It looked like he was going to drop back, and he dropped back and spiked it. The first time I'd seen that. Usually they just spike it over the center.
13 seconds to go, 2nd down. We're going to show a replay.
We're going to see a replay
spike.
of the drop back spike. Right here. Drop back. 1, 2. Oh, here's the play before.
The play
there. Okay. Right now he gets a little pressure from the outside. And throws it, and right here he should have leaped. I was thinking leap over Lynn because he always goes for the ankles. But
Lynn is always in on every play. Steve.
Yeah, he really is.
Here we go, 13 seconds.
13.
I don't know. I think maybe 1 timeout left for Los Lomas, not on the scoreboard right now. Oh, no, they have none. It is up there. Nice pass over the middle. Burrell, what is the call? No, it's down.
Nope.
They don't have a timeout. He's down at the 1-yard line.
They're not going to get it off.
Bananas, and this half is over. Can you believe it, Steve, where they spotted that ball?
Yeah, I really couldn't. I didn't get that good of an angle of it, Dan. The crowd's very upset about the spot of the call. The coach is out there. And let's watch a replay, Dan. Let's see if we can't see if this crossed the line. Them guys are pretty good out there. It probably did. It's probably a little bit short. But let's see what we got. Right here, he's got the ball, and he's trying to turn upfield. Real nice play. He gets gang tackled right there. And I can't tell. There's just too much of bodies of people around
Well,
there.
Steve, a good half for both teams. It's 6-6. What can we look for in the second half?
Well, Dan, I think you look for Lewis to throw the ball more and to do his. I think they're going to open up their offense even a little bit more because they're very successful on offense against College Park's defense. I think College Park, on the other hand, needs to throw the ball more. I think they're running it, and I don't think they've really. Lynn has completed that many passes. It seems like they've got some yards coming out of the backfield, and they've made a couple nice plays. And those are some pretty young ladies right there. But anyway, where was I? Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Wherever they are.
But anyway, Dan, I'm lost after I see the
Okay, well, I'll take over for you.
Thank you.
College Park gave up 20 of their 26 points to Ashland in the second half. So we'll have an exciting second half for you. It's 6-6 at halftime, and we'll be back after these words from our sponsor.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria of Walnut Creek, Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, and Paramount Technology of Concord for being part of our community and making tonight's production possible.
Hey, get me out of here! Help! Help! Help!
Wow, a filter that talks.
Wow, a human that doesn't know throwing an oil filter in the garbage can will pollute our landfills and our environment.
I've got a better plan for the future of Mr. Filter. After changing your oil and filter, place the filter in a sealed plastic bag. Make sure it doesn't leak, and take it to a certified used oil and filter collection center. They will then properly dispose of Mr. Filter in an environmentally friendly way.
Hey, wait a second. Don't close that door. Don't close it. Whoa!
Recycle your used oil filters for a cleaner future. For more information, call 1-800-NO-DUMPING or check out my website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back at Los Lomas High School tonight, the score at halftime, the Knights 6 and the College Park Falcons 6. And the total stats, very, very deceptive, Steve Sanchez. Total yards in the game so far through one half, 246 yards for Los Lomas, only 83, but it's 6-6 on the scoreboard.
Well, Dan, Los Lomas, they moved up and down the field there towards the end of the second quarter quite easily on their scoring drive. And then right before the first half, where they got pinned down at the half-yard line right before halftime ended, that was about a 70 or 80-yard drive right there that they accumulated on, in that total right there. But all in all, they moved the ball pretty good. They just didn't put the points up.
Running yards for Los Lomas, 94. Passing, 152. Lewis was 10 of 16 for 152 yards in the first half. He threw 3 times to Davis for 48 and 4 times to Burrell for 45. Nachman had 33 yards. Lewis had 56 rushing. Steve, that means he accounted for 208 of their 246 yards.
Yeah, he's really the real deal. He's been a lot of fun to watch, and I think he makes that offense goes, and as he goes, the offense goes, and he's a lot of fun to watch.
He threw a touchdown pass to Burrell for their score. 83 yards for College Park, 52 on the ground, 31 through the air. Fennessy, the only quarterback to complete passes for College Park. He completed 2 for 31 yards, and Wilhelm caught both of those passes. McClendon and Lynn have been held to 19 yards each, but Lynn has a 1-yard run, and after one half of play, it's 6-6. We'll be back in 2 minutes here on AT&T Broadband.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. Locally owned and operated by Rocco Bialy and family, Rocco's was voted the best pizza by readers of the Contra Costa Times. A great place to go to watch the AT&T Broadband Game of the Week. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back, comfortable love-seat chairs, and an unobstructed view. Reserve your tickets over the phone, and remember, movies always make a great gift. You can even find your favorite movie soundtrack in the lobby of the theater. And Paramount Technology of Concord. Located behind Tower Records in Concord, Paramount Technology has it all. Mobile computer service calls, in-house repair, and a friendly atmosphere. Your computer wizards with expert service and products for today and tomorrow's computer world. Thanks again to Rocco's Ristorante and Pizzeria of Walnut Creek, Brendan Theaters of Concord and Pittsburgh, and Paramount Technology of Concord for being part of our community and making tonight's production possible.
Frankie, what are you doing underneath your car?
What do you think I'm doing? I'm changing my oil and filter.
Come on, let's go. The girls won't wait forever.
As soon as I clean this mess up, we can go.
Toss that oil and filter in the garbage. We gotta go.
Are you crazy? I'm not stupid. If I dump this oil and filter in that garbage can, it'll end up polluting the nearby landfill and later the bay.
Toss it in the garbage over there, or in the storm drain.
Boy, Chaz, you just don't get it. Whatever goes down the storm drains goes directly to the river, delta, and the bay. And most importantly, to your precious surf beaches.
You're kidding me, right?
No, I'm not. Do the right thing. Take care of your used motor oil and filter and recycle it.
Back at Los Lomas High School, 6-6 at halftime, and Steve Sanchez, what does College Park have to do to win this game?
Well, Dan, I think College Park is really lucky to be in this game 6-6, considering the offense at Los Lomas was rode up on them, and they got to feel fortunate. They kind of dodged a bullet right there at the end of the first half. I feel that either Lynn or Hennessy is going to have to throw the ball a little bit more to try to open up the offense, to open up their running game a little bit, maybe go to the tight end a little bit more. You know how much we like the tight end in high school football. They don't go to them enough, we feel. Over the middle, it's always open. But they're going to have to open up their offense a little bit, I think. I don't know which quarterback's going to be able to do that, but I think they need to do that a little bit and kind of mix up the run and the pass.
Yeah, they haven't went to the tight end at all or even looked at the tight end really through their offense. And I think really if College Park's going to win this game, they need a couple of Lomas mistakes.
Yeah, I think you're right. And Los Lomas, they're look like they're capable to explode on you. They can move the ball at will right now. So I think the key to this second half is College Park's defense. If they could try to hold back Los Lomos and Lewis a little bit on the offensive end of it, if they can keep him in check, they might have a shot at it. But like you said, they might need a couple turnovers and a couple mistakes. And, we're 6-6 right here. They're right in the ball game, so they got a good chance to win this, escape with a win as Los Lomos does.
6-6. You can see the score there on your TV screen. Tonight's game of the week at AT&T Broadband. We're happy to bring high school football to you. As you see the Los Lomas coaching staff back on the sideline. College Park will get the ball to start the second half. And it is kind of unfortunate for Los Lomas. They had that great drive there at the end, Steve, and they just weren't able to put it in.
No, they really weren't, and that cost them big time. They had no timeouts left, and they just couldn't punch it in, and they ran out of time. So that kind of lets the air out of your balloon a little bit. They'd have loved to got 6 or 7 right there at the end of the first half, but it didn't happen. So we're all square, and we try it again for another half.
That's what we do. As we mentioned before the break, Lewis, a great half, 206 yards of total offense. College Park, really nothing to speak of, except for the fact that we did mention that Steve Lynn really is a great player, Steve. And he, he's just been in on a ton of plays. There's one of our cameramen on the crew here. That's Colin. That was his son with the red hair, I think you were telling us. There's Scott on camera as well.
Hi, Scott.
With our with the American flag, waving proudly, Steve, and as it will and should wave proudly. As this is hopefully, I know we're the only game in town this weekend, but hopefully it's bringing you a little bit. There it is. There's a shot of the flag. A little bit of entertainment on this very, very tough week, Steve.
And I like that, Dan. It's half mast. He's got it right there on his camera, and as we should do, and then let's do that.
I can't put it down past half mast.
Yeah, you might break the monitor. You better just leave it alone, Dan.
Ours is waving nicely in
the
breeze tonight.
And that breeze does feel good, considering it felt like it was about 100 degrees when we arrived at this stadium this afternoon.
Here's our buddy Spidell out there to kick. And a low kick, bouncing to Ishaya.
And that's going to work.
And Ishaya is going to get tackled. And he went out of bounds, actually.
Yeah, he really did.
Pursuit on that play from Mike Meringue. So here comes College Park. That ball down almost inside the 10-yard line. We're going to say it's spotted about the 12. And here we go for the second half for the first time ever. And, Steve, it is George DeClotz Stadium.
Is that what this is called?
Yes, see, it's underneath the scoreboard over there.
I see that. George DeClotz Stadium. I bet he gave a lot of money to have that
there it is.
Sign there.
George DeClotz Stadium, home of the Knights.
Who's George DeClotz? You know that? I just wonder if you knew.
But I'm sure he was an outstanding man.
Yeah.
Whoever
he may still be alive.
He might be, or he is an outstanding man. I'll tell you, Steve, that quick handoff hasn't worked hardly at all.
No, really, Los Lomos' defensive front has really done a good job of Swisher, Carl, Madrid, and Burrell, and they've done a good job up front, and they've been winning the battle up there up front so far. So everything up the middle has been for naught. Daniel.
Thank you. Only my mother calls me Daniel.
Well, I do now, too, when I'm making a point.
2 yard. Actually, they called that now. It looks like a 2-yard gain. It's 2nd and 8, the ball at the 15-yard line.
And they got Lynn back at quarterback, Dan.
Lynn at quarterback, handoff.
There's a fumble. That could be trouble.
Well, that is. I thought McClendon had it, but Lynn fumbled. It looked like McClendon had it and was wrapped up inside, but Lynn tackled it for a loss. And I don't think there's a flag on that.
No, they threw
play,
it for the mark on the ball
right.
where they lost a fumble.
Yeah, a loss of 4.
So that's not a flag. It's just a mark. Lost of 4. Right here, you can see Lynn. He keeps the ball right here, and then, he tried to keep the ball. And right there, he's wrapped up pretty good by number 42, Dan.
Ryan Ellis.
Ryan Ellis, and he did a real good job of pursuing on that and wrapped them up. And we got about a 3rd and 13 to go, and they're about on the 11-yard line. They got this could be a big momentum changer right here, field position-wise, if they don't get out of this hole.
Yeah, this is a big play in the game here. Lynn to pass, and Lynn under pressure, and he gets outside, but he
and
fumbles
there's a
the
fumble,
ball.
but they recovered it.
Try to get the number of that recovering Falcon. It's a lineman. It's number 58.
And here he is, Dan.
Russell.
In the pocket. He kind of gets run in by his own man. And right here, number 7 comes and strips the ball.
That's Swisher.
Swisher strips the ball, and luckily they recovered because that could have been trouble.
Will you say that 5 times? Swisher, Swisher switches.
I can't even say nothing, my essence.
McClendon to kick.
Not
and
that good of
not
a kick off
kick.
the side of his foot. See what kind of bounce that takes.
Irregardless of the bounce, good field position. The ball at the 33-yard line. Here's Los Lomas for the first time in the second half. The score tied at 6. There's Lewis going back onto the field. You saw Lewis. Well, they have him 11 of 15. We have him officially 10 of 16 for 156 yards, so very close.
Dan, I want to mention a couple guys on the line. Josh Bard has done a good job. Alex Madrid has done a good job. They've been opening up holes, and here comes a flag coming down from Mount Diablo. Looks like that guy threw that so high.
55, 5-5.
Oh, he's going to start calling numbers out now. Okay.
They usually don't in high school.
They usually don't. You know, he probably does college games. You know what I mean? And
he might. Well, they're very close to what we had up here, so we're going to – you know what, though? After last week with some of the stats we had, this week we had 156, he had 157. We're going to say that we're pretty close.
Yeah. I like our stat guy.
Good job, Joel.
Joel does a good job on stats.
Yeah, Steve, would you put the paper down? We're doing a game here.
Oh, okay. Well, I thought there was a picture of me in there.
Thank God there's not. Oh, what – you know, Lewis just said, you know what, wait till this guy sees me turn around.
Oh, for
but
the
then he
backside.
came back and made the backside tackle.
Yeah.
That's a big old boy there, too. He went right around. That was number 74, Mike Plath, who's made a bunch of tackles tonight.
Well, let's watch Plath. Right here, he's the initial guy. Right here, Lewis just goes, get out of here. And he just makes a nice move on him. And right here, and here he comes. He doesn't give up on the play. What's 74 come into your picture about right now? Boom! Hello. Welcome back to the big leagues.
Well, you know, Plath cut a swath and then took away Lewis's path.
Wow. I'm not even going to touch that. You're the play-by-play guy.
And he's feeling the Knight's wrath right now.
If you're going to live, if that's your story and you're going to stay with it, that's fine.
I won't do it again, though. I promise you.
That's not your type.
9 minutes to go in
here
the
comes
third
a
quarter.
blitz.
And they did not pick it up. McClendon levels Lewis as he throws incomplete.
Yeah, he came from his left cornerback side unblocked, and let's see if we can't pick it up. What's number 20 on your left side? He just comes here, and the tackle's in tight. He doesn't even see him, and the lineman comes in to help out on the interior, and right here he just levels him. He has a free shot at him, and real nice job, real call defensive-wise.
That pass was intended for Nachman. It's 3rd and 18, Steve, so an early location for you.
That
3rd
was
and AT&T, Matt Bollinger said.
That was Coach Lynn's call, the defense from the outside.
Well, that's right, and we talked to Coach Lynn, who once coached at Cal, and his son plays on the team. So that's everything we know about the Lynn. Oh, draw play, and this one's got big yardage. Nachman close to a first down. He has a first down. He's still on his feet. Nachman to the 5. Touchdown, Los Lomas. What a great call, Steve. A 42-yard run for Nachman on a draw play when the entire College Park team was looking for a pass.
Really a great call, Dan. You hit that right on the head, a 40-yard touchdown run, and it was a real nice call. And somebody got steamrolled, Dan, at about the 10-yard line. He just lowered his head and just ran completely over somebody, and that guy's still looking for the license plate of that truck because I don't know if we got that on replay or not. They're going to call timeout. We're going to have time for a replay. Watch Nachman right here, Dan. Watch this right here. Watch who he runs into. He goes, hello, who are you? I'm Mr. Nachman. Watch this. And I'd like to introduce you to my shoulder. And, oh, there you go. Okay, and I'll get back to you in about 30 seconds after I score 6 points here.
That was Wilhelm. They called a meeting at the 10-yard line, Steve, and it didn't last for long.
No, Wilhelm right now is kind of like, feel like he's on Guam Island.
Yeah, or he was knocked to Guam Island.
Yeah.
So it's 12-6 here. A great play. We've had some exciting plays out of Los Lomas, Steve. Amazing that they're only ahead 12-6 in this game.
We really have. Their offense is really starting to roll now, full tilt. You can kind of feel the dam starting to give there a little bit, and There he is. What a great run by that kid right there. Put his team on the scoreboard, and they'll be looking at that in the game film, and they'll be jumping up and down when they see that one run. And Wilhelm's not going to be wanting to watch that too much.
I don't think he's going to like that one too much, although Wilhelm has made some nice plays.
Oh,
he made a nice diving catch in the
He's
first
a good
half.
player, and you know what? If you play football long enough, you're going to get ran over every once in a while, and that happened that time.
If
Front
you're
of about
in front of you
4,000
driving
people.
a UPS truck, you're going to get ran over every once in a while.
You can just give me room, baby. I'm a Teamster. I'm still looking for Jimmy Hoffa.
Lomas will go for 2.
don't
I'll
need-
tell you, I really like Lewis. Man, he
he-
is a great quarterback.
He's the real deal, Dan.
He's going to pass here for 2. Inside screen, number 42, Los Lomas, Ryan Ellis. The conversion is good, and the score 14-6 with 8:50 to go in the third quarter. That was another beautifully conceived play, Steve Sanchez.
It really was, Dan, and Lewis got jumped back. Let's watch the replay right here on the 2-point. Watch him back in the pocket, Dan. He's got a real long step. He's kind of feeding them and baiting them and throws it in and puts it right on the numbers where you have to. And right there, he just walks on in. Great job.
You saw Burrell and Swisher and Walker and everyone as decoys in the end zone.
Yep.
And that was a great play. So here we are with 8:50 to go third quarter, and Los Lomas ahead 14-6 on AT&T Broadband. And we'd like to tell you about tonight's sponsors: New Mecca Cafe, Concord Beverage, Rock Bottom Records, Antioch Opticians, Pantel's Music Box, S&S Imports, A&B Creative Trophy, Images of 3 Hair Salon, Mercado's Barbershop, Golf and Games, and Action Videos. You see the graphic there. And Steve, Rock Bottom Records in Antioch, for the people on this side of the hill, has all your needs in music, and there's a bunch of new stuff coming out in the next couple of weeks. If you're ever over there, go see our good buddy Rick. He'll take care of you.
Well, I can't argue with you on that, Dan. Rick Armstrong does a great job over there.
And also, of course, the New Mecca Cafe. Now, there's a place I bet some people on this side of the hill have heard of.
If they don't, people drive to Pittsburgh, take the railroad turn off, head towards the river on your left-hand side, the last building to your left, and you won't believe it.
Spidell the kick. Ishaya takes it at the 10. Here's Ishaya still on his feet, and Ishaya is out to the 26-yard line, maybe the 27-yard line. Fambrini again. Fambrini is a special teams monster.
He's very good on special teams.
Very
Dan,
good.
You're right.
And see, I think he gets rewarded because he's always coming off.
And they
then
go back
Go
in.
back. We like
Yeah,
that. You
yeah.
made the tackle, you go back.
You're going to be rewarded. You get to stay in and play some defense.
I think he stays in for Burrell because Burrell does so much else on offense and
Yeah.
defense that he needs a bluff.
I want Burrell as my starting power forward next year. I think
He might
Antioch
be.
could use him.
Yeah, they probably could, and he might be. First down, College Park at the 26. Handoff. And we have to wait to see the number, Steve, because it just went by in a blur. It's 18 Ishaya, and Ishaya loses a yard.
Come on out of the pack. I want to see your number.
It was Ishaya.
Was it?
Yeah, that is the only unfortunate thing, folks. When you deal with high school sports, you sometimes don't get to be high enough as you look at our truck and you look at kids playing.
There's a hand. There's a hand out
I
of the
think
truck.
that's Matt Boland or Metal Matt, of course.
That's Metal Matt. He's in the truck.
And by the way, if you're watching in Antioch or Pittsburgh, CC Rock follows tonight's game in Antioch and Pittsburgh on AT&T Broadband. A loss of 1, 2nd and 11. The ball now spotted at the 26. Fennessy's in the game. Throws a pass. Wilhelm has it.
He's gone.
Wilhelm's gone. Wilhelm is going to go 74 yards, and now he's showboating with Joe Davis, and that doesn't make Davis too happy. Irregardless, an unbelievable play, touchdown College Park, and with a 2-point conversion, we could be all tied up again, Steve.
And you know, Dan, that's the same kid who just got ran over on defense. And I'll tell you what, you know, he feels a lot better on offense, Dan. Right now, he feels better about himself. And let's watch a replay right here. Finney goes back in the pocket, about a 3-step drop. He's getting some pressure. And watch this throw, Dan. Boy, does he put that right where you need to put it or what? And just puts it in the outside hands. And right here, it's off to the track races right here at Bay Meadows, touchdown.
But right here, we really didn't need that.
No.
Run it in, drop it in the end zone, and say,
Good
we got
golly,
you
Miss
back.
Molly.
That's right. College Park will go for 2, hoping to tie this one up with 7:54 to go. It's 14-12 Los Lomas after 2 spectacular plays.
Lynn back at quarterback.
He's in the option, and I think Lynn is going to go in here.
Yeah, he is.
No,
he
wait,
fumbled.
he didn't get in. A great play by number 4, Patrick Clancy, keeps Lynn out of the end zone. It's 14-12 Los Lomas.
Boy, what a big play that was by Clancy, Dan. Here comes the replay. Let's watch Lynn right here, Dan. Fakes it up the middle, and about right here you think he's going to walk in. And right here he just gives it a little. What's number 4 right here? Just does a great job. Comes and spins him around. The ball pops out, and he's denied 2 points. 14-12, the Knights, Dan, over the Falcons.
Wow. I'll tell you what, Steve, last week, for anyone that watched the game, we had a great game. Monte Vista and Antioch, 34-34 a tie. What is that? Now, now there's a stat for you. 3 of 5 for 105 yards. Those are some stats.
I think I'd say, Coach, can I play a little
I
bit
play?
more?
Can I play? Can I be the
play a little bit
quarterback
more?
now?
Can't we put that lean guy on the outside? I'll throw it to him, too.
14-12, as I was mentioning, Steve. 34-34 last week. We got a good one here this week, and next week we'll have Concord. And I think that this is the first time we've done Concord in football since around the early 90s against Alhambra that I know we've never done in football.
And Dan, you look back at that game at Ashland. Lynn caught a couple passes for 73 yards last week up in Ashland, Oregon, playing on the wideout. So they did do that last week. They had Hennessy throw him a few passes last week. There it goes again. There goes the flag.
They kick it out of bounds, trying to kick it away from McClendon, and Los Lomas will get the ball with 7:54 to go, 14-12, Steve. And we have had some action here on AT&T Broadband, and we intend to bring it to you all season long. We intend to bring you some basketball games from both sides of the hill, and Dave Jackson's great girls basketball tournament played out in Antioch in December.
Well, Dan, the hits just keep on rolling. We just keep showing up and having fun, and it's a lot of fun bringing high school sports to the Bay Area, and it's not that big of a deal. We're not that big of a station, but we seem like we provide a service that people seem to appreciate, so that's
right.
fun.
Both of your jobs, you do that, Steve.
Yeah, I bring people packages. They appreciate that.
Lewis to pass on first down into the flat to Swisher. Swisher makes a juggling catch, and he's knocked out of bounds by Lynn again. Lynn again.
Yeah.
I'll tell you, Lynn is in on a lot of plays. He is, and you can see, Steve, why they want him as a defensive back at Oregon State.
Let's watch this right here. Real nice in the pocket, rolls out, and he bobbles it a little bit right here. Gets it on his fingertips, does a real nice job, and here comes 67 in pursuit, but here comes Lynn. Let's see how low Lynn hits him. He usually goes low.
Oh, he is like a homing.
Yeah.
You know,
He's
you
like
don't want
a
to get into
missile.
you don't want to get into too many of those missile and bomb things after this week.
That's true. Dan.
But in the phrasing of football, a lot of times it is compared to the battle. And here's another nice pass into the flat. It's another wide open night. It's Ellis, and Ellis is close to first down yardage again. And Los Lomas is just moving the ball at will.
And Dan, let's watch this right here. A little quick fake hits right here. He gives it to him, and I'm going to give you one guess on who tackles this guy, Dan.
Lynn again.
Lynn again. We got a new name for him right there. Real good open tackle. He didn't get far after Lynn met him one-on-one. And Knights are moving again, Dan.
The ball at the 44-yard line. First down. 7:28 to go. Clock running. 14-12 Los Lomas. Great game so far tonight here on AT&T Broadband. And I'm telling you, this Lewis kid is the best quarterback I've seen in high school in a long time.
Yeah, he really is, Dan. And he's only a junior. He played for Benicia last year. And here's a look at this, Dan. I'll let you have this.
And Knockman ahead for 14 and another first down. The thing I like about Lewis, Steve, and this is no knock as we'll take another look at this on some of the other great quarterbacks. I'll get back to that thought in a minute.
Just a real quick hitter, Dan, right up the middle. And right here he picks up about 16, 17 yards right up the middle. And they ran behind, guess who?
Perron and Miller.
There they are right there. Them two guys have been opening up the holes
and
up the middle.
Ali Kazaz.
Ali Kazaz has been doing a good job, too.
Anyway, not to take anything away from the guys like Hurd and some of those great quarterbacks, but this guy is comfortable in the offense.
Yeah.
He just looks very confident. But this time, he's going to be slung to the ground by
Lynn again. Wow.
It's Steve Lynn again.
Where'd he come from?
I'm telling you. He came in, you know, it's almost like when things get really, really bad. It's like do you remember that Behind the Music with Ted Nugent? He said when things really, really get bad, they call the rock and roll cop.
Is that the guy with the long hair plays guitar?
Long hair plays guitar.
Know him well.
Steve Lynn, whenever things get really bad for College Park, they say, Steve.
Again.
And his dad's calling his number over there because he's the defensive coordinator. But you know what, Steve? You look at him, even though he's a great quarterback and athlete, you can see why they want him playing defensive backfield. Because of the way he can hit, how quick he is. You can just see him back there. He just can't wait.
Yeah, you really can.
2nd and 17, ball at the 37. Lewis to pass into the end zone. Oh, he's got Davis! Touchdown!
What a catch.
What a play!
What a catch.
37 yards.
Over Wilhelm.
Lewis to Davis over Wilhelm, and now we're just playing a game of cat and mouse, Steve, back and forth.
And boy, Dan, let's just watch Lewis right here. Boy, he's getting better and better as the game goes on. He's showing his dominance. Watch this throw, Dan. Look at the tight spiral on this thing, and watch where it comes down. Watch Davis makes this catch, bobbles it a little bit, and He's over Wilhelm, and what is this, a great play right there. Great high school play right there. The Knights are starting to pull away, Dan.
And they're going to try and kick an extra point, Steve, and it's good. So the kick is good. 5:57 to go, third quarter. 21-12 Los Lomas.
And who made that kick, Dan?
Spidell, our buddy.
Our buddy Spidell.
Richie
Spidell. We met him in the locker room, and he says you spell Spidell.
Not Spidell.
Not Spidell.
Not Richard Spidell.
Not Spada.
Richie Spidell.
Spidell,
That's what he
said.
told us.
And, Rich, I think we got it right.
21-12. 37-yard pass that time from Lewis to Davis. And I'll tell you, Steve, you got to look at the stats here for Lewis
Here you
tonight
go,
so
Dan.
far.
There's Joe. He just handed me the board.
211 yards passing.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. He only has thrown one incompletion in the second half.
Yeah.
He's 4 of 5.
Yeah.
For 59 yards in the second half to tack onto those 211 with his rushing total, Steve, of 56, 267 yards. Joel, the stat man, you get a cookie.
And we're halfway. And we're halfway through the third quarter.
I'll tell you, what action out here at Los Lomas tonight.
Oh, if it was just 30 years ago. Huh, Dan? It was 30 years ago. It seemed like just yesterday.
That you were in school, yeah.
No,
Spidell the kick. Ishaya waiting at his 10. Here comes Ishaya, number 18 for College Park. Good yardage up the right sideline, and Ishaya all the way out to the 36-yard line.
And Dan, you know who we're pulling for here, right? Again,
overtime.
Overtime. That's who we. That's who we always.
Although the 9-point thing has probably thrown us off overtime right now, but you never know.
See, there I go again.
We could get like a 6. They could kick a field goal, then a 6. It'd be 24-24.
I can't come up with nothing. We're going to replay the kickoff? Okay, instant replay. Here he is from the outside right here.
That was a block in the back.
There was a block in the back, but we'll let that go.
That's Perron again.
Perron, number 54. Nice tackle.
Perron again doesn't rhyme with Linnigan.
Linnigan.
And Fennessy stays in the game at quarterback, and look at Perron chasing him down. And Fennessy goes around right in, gets a couple. I see number 42 for Los Lomas, Ellison, on the play over there, Steve, and there's Fennessy stats.
Nice stats. 3 for 4, 106 yards, 2 touchdowns.
And he's the backup.
Yeah.
There's some NFL teams that would have used those stats last week.
Oh, yeah.
You see some of those stats? You see the stats in that Dallas game?
Dallas.
That was hideous. What they have, 34 yards of offense going in the fourth quarter?
Mr. Jones, my heart bleeds.
But then again, you have Cal, who had 392 yards of total offense and got outscored by, 28 again. Second down, Fennessy. And the back who came through, I believe it's Ishaya, ran into him. And there's our buddy once again, Fambrini, who has made a bunch of big tackles. And did you see Morang in there?
Mike Morang was in there, Dan. He wanted to get in a little of the action, get his name mentioned a little bit. Said, hey, I'm playing ball out here for the Knights too. So he got in, made a nice tackle, helped out on it. Good job. I'm fired up tonight, Dan.
Well, I was going to say, if you were Chris Berman, you could probably come up with a good name for Morang, like Mike Lemon Morang or something like that.
That's a good one, Dan.
I thought you'd enjoy that. He probably hates it.
We might get a lemon meringue on the way home, huh? We stop at that little pie place out here.
Fennessy a keeper, and Fennessy close to a first down. I think he's got it, Steve. Near midfield.
Here's a little replay.
Trying to answer.
This is just a little fake up the middle right here, and Hennessy's got a pitch man, but he decides to keep it himself right here. He knows if the girls are going to be looking at anybody, they want them to look at him.
Why give the glory up to McClendon?
Why give the ball to McClendon when I can carry it and get the yards? The cheerleaders are right over here by me.
First down, ball at the 48 of College Park. 4:58 to go here in the third quarter, 21-12. Los Lomas, the first time we've ever been here, and we're having a great time.
We're having a good time, and we're not disappointed with the game. It's been a lot of fun, and we're up and down the boulevard here with offense, and it's a lot of fun.
Fennessy to pass. He's got a wide open receiver, and that was Lynn.
But
and
nice defensive play right there, Dan. He kind of hung it up there a little bit too much, Dan.
And Knockman was over there to make a play.
Knockman, number 20, did a real good job. Right here, he fakes up the middle, 3-step drop, and kind of hangs it up a little bit. Looks like the duck is about half dead. And right here, right here, he goes up and knocks it out. And
you are fired up tonight. You had 3 pieces of pizza, a couple of cookies, and a Snapple. Hey, there we are again.
Wait a minute. Which way I got to go to?
I don't know. There's the camera right
Right.
there. We got to wave into it.
My hair's not
Because
messed
we
up.
always look over at the camera to see
Yeah,
it.
I know.
2nd and 10, ball at the 48. Fennessy on a kind of like a delayed draw to Ishaya, and Ishaya maybe won. The tackle that time from, that was it, Josh Bart?
Josh Bart. And, you know, Josh Bart, they've been really high on him. We haven't really called his name out a whole lot today, a couple times, but talking to the coach, they expect big things out of him this year.
I'm still laughing about the duck. That was good. That was good. Not to make light of Mr. Fennessy's passing abilities, because he's thrown some other really nice ones.
Well, he's had a really great game so far tonight. Matter of fact, because of him, College Park is in this game, to be honest with you. So I'm not cutting up on him. I'm just making light of the ball. It was kind of funny looking thing up there.
3rd and 9. 4 minutes and 5 seconds to go in the third quarter. 21-12 Los Lomas. One motion man near side. And here's Fennessy on a late
got a
draw
draw
to
to
McClendon.
and it's open.
McClendon would have had a first down if he hadn't ran into the back of one of his own players.
He might have picked it up anyway, Dan, with that last surge. He got hit from the backside, and let's see where they spot it. It's going to be close, Dan.
I think College Park has to go for it here, Steve, with a quarterback like Lynn out there, too, who can come in and just sneak ahead.
Yeah, well, they haven't stopped the quarterback sneak yet. Why not? It's only half yard. Here's a replay right here, Dan. And right here, it's he really fakes the pass real good. McClendon, they go up their right side. He gets a nice block, runs into his old man. And right there, a host of Los Lomas Knights bring him down.
Buena Corsi and Meringue are in on that tackle. 4th down, Lynn back at quarterback. Lynn running the option, Lynn a keeper, and Lynn ahead for a first down for College Park at the 40-yard line, a gain of 3. Great call once again from Steve Lynn.
Yeah, they move the chains, Dan. They keep the drive going, and as much as the defense has given up offensive-wise in Los Lomos, College Park can answer right here and be right back in this thing. Fourth quarter could be a real crazy one. Here's a replay right here, Dan. And let's watch Lynn right here. Fakes up the middle, and it's nothing new he's been doing. He just fakes it and picks up about 4 or 5 yards, and good call.
It's all about the quarterback in that offense.
It really is. And I don't know how much crazier this fourth quarter could get the one we had last year.
Oh, wow. Last week was a great fourth quarter at Antioch, but we might see another one here. Fennessy back in the game. The handoff to number 21, Shorter.
Nice
and
little
Shorter
move.
Jukes outside of Davis. First down yardage, a big gain for College Park. Finally knocked out of bounds by Davis, and number 32 for Los Lomas, C.J. Lawrence. And another first down, in College Park answering every one of these big, giant drives and spectacular plays of Los Lomas, Steve.
Let's watch the replay right here. McClendon on the outside, Dan. And he comes to Mr. Davis here. Last time, if you remember, Mr. Davis caught him from the outside. And right here, McClendon gives him a shake and bake, gets to the outside right here, and picks up about another 11 yards before Davis can haul him in. So he won that battle that time.
The ball at the 18-yard line with 2:48 to go, third quarter. First down, College Park, driving, down 9. We've had an exciting third quarter here. Lots of yardage, lots of spectacular plays. In this quarter alone, Steve, we've had a 42-yard run, a 74-yard pass, and a 37-yard pass.
Lions and Tigers and Bears. You don't know what to say, do you?
I don't.
I got to mix it up a little bit,
Just
Dan.
a touch.
Just a touch.
Stewart in motion. Fennessy runs into Ishaya as he takes the handoff, and he's tackled by what we like to call a swarm of Knights.
A swarm of Knights.
Down by Ryan Ellis.
Ellis was in on that tackle. Short gain of 2. It's 2nd and 8.
I'm getting tired of standing. Can't we get some lounge chairs up
I
here?
don't know. We need like those high bar stools. You know, with
No, those would be sweet.
With the pina colada or something up here. We have to stand up.
Something with an umbrella in it.
That's Steve
I don't
Sanchez.
care what it
I'm
is.
Dan Wall. How are you? Nice to see you. Once again tonight here on AT&T Broadband. And I have a feeling that we're going to have that camera following us around all year. Handoff, second back through. Shorter, and Shorter gets back about 5, maybe 6. It's going to be 3rd and short, Steve, with 2 minutes to go here in the third quarter. College Park trying to answer and pull within a couple of points here, heading into what will probably be a very exciting fourth quarter tonight. Who are you looking for, Steve?
Andrew Lance opened that hole, Dan, and he's been doing a real good job. Number 74 for College Park up at the front. And
54.
54, I said. I meant, but he's been doing a good job up front for College Park. He's been opening up some holes. I've been watching him a little bit. Good job by him.
It's actually marked 3rd and 3. Fennessy to pass. Throws into the flat, has a receiver. It's Lynn. And I believe Lynn made the catch. It's going to be a first down.
Yes, he did make that catch. Good job by Lynn.
That ball is so far over on the other side of the field, Steve, it almost looks like another county.
Yeah, it really does. Right here, he throws back. He goes, run to the BART station, and I'll throw it up to you. Ooh, nice one-handed grab. Didn't see that live.
And Nachman with the tackle. The ball at the 6-yard line, a minute 25 to go. College Park. Now this is where Lynn comes back into the whole thing as being very dangerous.
Yeah, because he's there's so many different things he can do. But right now at quarterback, we got Hennessy right now.
Hennessy.
Hennessy. Did I say Hennessy?
You said Hennessy.
Well, I tell you, I'm getting tired, Dan. It's been a long day. I delivered a lot of stops today.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. Once again, he kind of runs into his back, and I think there's I thought there was a fumble. The ball's on the field because someone just spiked it. Touchdown, College Park. I thought there was a fumble or some kind of miscommunication there, Steve. The miscommunication was we're in the end zone. Touchdown.
They just powered it in, Dan. Power football. They just muscled it in. 21-18 right now. They're going to try to go for 2, I think, here. And right here, they ran into each other in the backfield, and McClendon Brady just knocked her in.
Gressang on, and Gressang misses the extra point again. So within a field goal, pulls College Park after that failed kick. 21-18. And Steve, this bodes well not only for our future games with Kiwanis, as Clay Callum would say, and Miramani, but also our next visit in 2 weeks to DVC, and to see these guys, College Park, playing on that AstroTurf. Now, that might be something special.
Oh, that's going to be something special. You got that absolutely right. Whenever you get on that AstroTurf, it seems like your 4-6s turn into 4-2s in the 40, so that should be exciting. Oh, and I can't go tomorrow night to the Miramani game because my boy's got a fall ball game. Just remembered that I'll tell you.
What is fall ball?
Fall ball, man. Under the lights, Babe Ruth.
What is fall ball? Why are we always on television? It's almost like those two guys in the balcony.
And they wanted.
What show is that? The Muppets? You know, the two old guys in the balcony. America's Most Wanted. Yeah.
You watch him, guys?
Well, Selena used to have. There's Matt Bollender again waving out the van door.
John Walsh is looking for him, you know? Who's in that van?
21-18, 1 minute to go, third quarter here at Los Lomas High School. Metal Matt will be on
right after this
game, and I guess over here as well.
And I watched him last week.
Yeah, he had Great White on.
They were awesome.
Yeah, they're a good band.
They're a good band.
I like Great White. Oh, that was a line drive kick to Nachman, and Nachman already has good yardage.
He's
still on his feet.
He does a spin. Okay, you want to do play-by-play?
Fourth quarter tonight, Steve Sanchez is going to do play-by-play.
I'm going to sit down, Dan. I'm getting tired.
Nachman out to the 31-yard line. Los Lomas will take over. 53 yards to go. I have to read this. First 3 TD drives when Fennessy's quarterback. Joel, it's like that guy, remember in Big League? He's hitting 347 on Tuesdays in May.
What a great movie. You got me fired up again. I was sitting down, now I'm back up.
Lewis, the fake, the roll, the pass into the flat, out in and out of the hands of Swisher. The coverage on that play came from, I believe,
18.
Ishaya, yes.
Ishaya.
They don't have the numbers on their shoulders. Los Lomas doesn't. We're going to have a talk with their athletic director. And College Park has Falcons on their shoulders. So you have to wait till they turn so you can see who they are.
21-18, Dan, 47 seconds to go in the third quarter. We got a good one.
Very good game tonight, and next week, Concord and Alhambra. First time ever at Alhambra. Lewis on second down, the pitch to Nachman. Nachman around right end, and Nachman close to first down yardage. McClendon made the initial hit. Number 19, Upshaw, in on that tackle.
Let's watch Nachman right here. Just a quick pitch to him.
Look at the pull right here.
Look at the pull by 52. Good kick-out block right there. He takes care of his man. McClendon makes a tackle and a little bit of help, but real nice run.
Clark also helping on that tackle. That was Max Schwark, number 52, with the good pull on that run. 17 seconds to go, third quarter. 3-point lead for Los Lomas. We'll break at the end of the third quarter, folks, just to let you all know. Nachman with 72 yards rushing. As one more play in this quarter for Los Lomas. Davis in motion. And here's Lewis. Lewis, play action. Lewis rolling. Lewis falls down. He took a knee. And, he didn't know, 23. Well, that was Trumbley, not Lynn. But he said, hey, I was just playing football, folks. And that'll end the third quarter. Exciting third quarter. 4 touchdowns and virtually every drive ended in a touchdown in the third quarter. Steve Sanchez, the score at the end of 3, Los Lomas 21, College Park 18. Now hold on a second. They're holding the ball. If they call a penalty on that, there would be another play because you can't have a quarter end on a defensive penalty. So let's see. Nope, they're waving it off. End of 3, 21-18 Los Lomas. We'll be back in 1 minute on AT&T Broadband.
When we start the fourth quarter, Los Lomas will have a 4th and 11.
Tonight's AT&T Broadband Game of the Week is made possible in part by a generous donation from Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria in Walnut Creek. Located in the Encina Grande Shopping Center, Rocco's Ristorante Pizzeria has classic Italian pastas and gourmet pizzas in a family atmosphere. And Brendan Theaters Concord, featuring 14 screens of movie magic. All theaters have Lucasfilm THX digital sound systems, stadium-style seating with high-back comfortable love seat chairs.
Hey, what are you doing? Stop that right now!
I'm just dumping my oil in the garbage can.
By dumping used oil in the garbage, you might as well be dumping it in the ground. No! Recycle your used oil by curbing the crude. It's so simple. Place your used oil in a sealed jug on the sidewalk along with other recycled items. Call your waste management company for more details or check out our website at www.funnelhead.com.
Back to live action at Los Lomas High School. Start of the fourth quarter, 21-18 Knights. It's listed as 4th down, and it is 4th down and a punt. This is the first punt in a long time for Los Lomas.
Yes, it really is.
Back to punt. And McClendon will field this one deep at the 30-yard line. That's not McClendon, that's Shorter.
That's
and
Shorter.
Shorter still on his feet, and Shorter inside Los Lomas territory, and a late flag. And this could set up College Park with a real
really
nice
could.
start. Let me quickly, Steve. Lewis with 211 yards passing, 95 yards rushing for Nachman, and of course the great game so far by Davis, and of course Fennessy having a great second half for the College Park Falcons.
Well, it's kind of amazing, Dan. You look at the numbers that Los Lomas is put up on the board, and you know what? College Park's not going away. They're still here. They're still.
We have a clip during the run back. 15 yards back, it'll be 1st down.
Well,
Hey,
they're
forget,
going back.
forget what I was saying.
Yeah,
I mean,
forget what you just said.
Yeah,
You just blew
what
that whole setup.
My God, who's this guy think he is, a referee or something?
So a 15-yard
But
penalty.
Dan, my point is that College Park has hung around and they could steal one right here. They've given up all these tons of yards. My neck is getting tired watching Los Lomas go up and down the field. But College Park is in position to steal one.
But they were moved back 15 on the clip. They'll start at the 38-yard line of the Falcons. First down, 11:47 to go in the ball game. 21-18 Los Lomas. A great game here tonight on AT&T Broadband. We'll tell you all about our wonderful sponsors after this play.
Jacob Fennessy at quarterback
Fennessy
again.
back at quarterback, and he hands off to McClendon, and McClendon barely got the ball in his hands
before he was hit.
He said hello to a swarm of Knights.
A swarm of Knights led by 32, C.J. Lawrence again.
We'll take a look at the sponsors after this play because by the time we're going to put them up quickly. Quickly, Rock Bottom, New Mecca, Images of 3, S&S Import, Golf and Games, Concord Beverage, Pantel's Music Box, A&B Creative Trophy, Mercado's, and Action Video. I say them faster than anyone on planet Earth.
I can't believe you got him in before this play.
We got him in before the play. The pass from Fennessy, and he threw that one. And Steve, do you have a comment on that pass?
It was short.
Thank you. It wasn't complete. All right, Rock Bottom Records, New Mecca, Images of 3, that's in Antioch. S&S, that's in Antioch. Golf and Games, that's in Antioch. Concord Beverage, they're actually in Antioch, but we have to use Concord Beverage. Pantel's is in Antioch. A&B Creative Trophies is in Antioch. Mercado's is a legendary barbershop in Antioch. And Action Videos in Walnut Creek.
And Action Videos about North Main, they're about a 9-iron from here, Dan. Right over that tree right there.
If you're shooting it.
You can go to Action Video and get some action.
It takes 7 9-irons and me to pick up the ball and throw it 200 yards.
If I need the action, I go to Action Video. That's the only action I'm going to get.
People are just screaming down here for some reason. 3rd and 13. They throw the pass to Lynn outside, and Lynn is tackled by number 42, Ryan Ellis, and College Park will be forced to punt. This game has been kind of weird. You've had some, punts, and then you had a bunch of drives, and now you've had a bunch of punts.
Punts, yeah. It's kind of like a football game, Dan. Them guys have not moved.
Tightwad Hill, and that is that's the rent-free runway.
They have not moved. Look at this guy down here.
They've got a bunch of people up there in their apartments sitting out there on the thing with an ice chest and a cooler watching tonight's ball game.
Now that's what I would be doing. Me and Fred Stanford. You big dummy.
It's Stanford.
Whatever.
But anyway, McClendon to punt.
I can't get his name right either, can I?
No, you can't. Good punt this time down to the 26-yard line. Los Lomas will take over for the first time in the fourth quarter. Let's talk about next week, Steve. Concord, I believe, who lost last week, against Alhambra, who I know won last week. As a matter of fact, you've got all the scores from last week right here, Steve.
Let's see if we
and
can't open it up.
See if we can figure that out.
Hey, well, I'll do play-by-play while you're doing that.
You just try it. My goodness, there's a look at our full schedule, and next week at Concord at Alhambra. Steve, is there any other game in there particularly that just thrills you to death?
Well, I'm an Antioch guy, so I'm looking towards the Antioch-Pittsburgh game, the Deer Valley at Antioch. The all-Antioch game should be fun on that side of the hill. I'm looking forward to seeing Miramonte play this year, Dan, and a couple other schools that I've never seen play before.
Well, here's two of them. Oh, Lewis to pass. Lewis looking for Davis, deep. Davis off his hands and incomplete. Coverage on the play that time from 81. Wilhelm once again. Wilhelm has been in on a ton of plays, Steve.
Let's watch 74, Mike Plath here, Dan. Come in, he breaks through. Watch 74 give the hit right here, right before he delivers the ball. If you can stay with him, he just does a nice hit on him and throws it up, and Lewis still puts the ball up, and right now we're frozen time. I don't know what happened there. It just we froze it.
It was, you know what? It didn't work. The play didn't work, so we just cut it off right there.
Okay. Whatever.
Why show it? Anyway,
why get me fired up?
Concord lost to Mount Eden, which doesn't bode very
Mount
well.
Eden's got a football team?
Very well for Concord
Wow.
against Alhambra, who's
Wow.
coached by the legendary Dave Silvera, who I had the pleasure of talking to yesterday on the telephone. And
How's Dave doing?
He's doing fine, and he told me to tell you hello, even though he doesn't know who the hell you are.
He knows me.
Oh,
we got a reverse here.
Here's Davis. Oh, great block. But number 23 for College Park came up and read it, and then Steve Trumbley read it, and who made the tackle?
What's that guy's name? Lynn again?
Lynn again.
Steve Lynn.
And did you notice that when Lynn hit him, not only did his forward motion stop, but he was then ceremoniously bounced off the field.
Here we go with a reverse right here, and half the people bite on it. Number 23 plays it pretty good. 23 makes the play because he's going to turn him in. He turns him in, and here comes Lynn right here coming up. Boom! And meets him and says, just piles his shoulder into him. And his dad, we talked to him, and he spit out to the back and said, he better be good. It's his fourth year. Maybe think, boy, I bet that guy could put a fire underneath you.
Well, from a guy who played in college.
Yeah.
Coached at college. 3rd and 9, Lewis to pass. Over the middle, tight end Burrell. Burrell is a first down, but there's a penalty flag. Penalty flag back behind the play. 14 on the tackle, Clark.
And they're going to bring it back, Dan.
And Tony Gisoletta is going to give us the call from somewhere near deep down in his stomach, Steve.
Lewis.
55 down.
We lost our mic.
Steve, will you translate that call? It was 55. He took him from the jersey, threw him to the ground. I'm giving him 10. Get him out of here.
Get him out of here. Lewis was moonwalking halfway through that play, and I knew it was coming back. The umpire's trying to reach for his mic. I think it's down under. So we could have trouble here. We may not have. Let's see if we hear him.
3rd down.
He's calling numbers.
What is that? It sounds like Van Halen when they come on right there.
Well, something happened to his mic. It went down his chest, and he pulled it back up, and
it's got that.
Yeah. So I don't know. He might have messed up. He's still trying to hook it up.
They threw that beautiful delayed pass to Burrell, though, and it would have been a first down, but it comes back. And now Los Lomas looks, okay, they're ready. They're set. And Lewis to pass. Lewis wants Davis over the middle on a post pattern. And look at all the coverage down here.
Yeah.
Great play that time from Wilhelm and also from 14 Clark. And Los Lomas will have to kick. You know, that was a good play by those kids because I think that pass was longer than how far they can punt.
Boy, he can throw the ball, can't he, Dan?
Yeah,
He's got an arm on him.
He's a junior.
Yeah, unbelievable. I was saying.
There's Coach. There's the coach, Doug Longero. He's a very nice guy. Took
Real
a
nice
lot of
guy.
time. I talked to him 2 or 3 times this week, and I think he said, you know what, that's enough.
And you know what?
I'll talk to you again in October. Now get out.
I'll tell you how nice he is. He even talked to me.
He's a sweetheart, man.
Yeah, he's a real nice guy.
Invite you into the home.
Yeah, he said, hey, Steve, nice meeting you, and can you keep Wall away from me for at least 5 minutes? I've given the guy everything but my Social Security number.
Kuhn to punt. 21-18, 8:52 to go, setting up for a great finish. And there's a nice kick this time from Kuhn. And number 21,
up the middle,
has some yardage up the middle, and he's tackled at the 40, right inside the 40 at the 39-yard line. College Park only needs to go 39 yards, Steve. You know it's going to be interesting if they get in field goal range.
That's exactly what I told you, overtime. Andrew Shorter's a great little running back, Dan.
Yeah,
I want to say he's a junior. Let's watch Shorter right here. Here comes the hit. Here's number 14. Look at that hit.
Man, that was Clark.
There's a nice block. Look at he hits again. Clark, boy, that kid, he ate some gorilla biscuits for breakfast this morning or something.
So did you.
Are you getting tired of me yet, Dan?
No, I've never gotten tired. I've known you for 20-some years, and you're still up here, for Christ's sake.
Okay, I must say something.
First down, the ball right at the 40. Lynn back at quarterback, and he hands off to McClendon, and McClendon is met by a swarm of Knights, which is our new thing for the Knights.
Alex Madrid on the main Knight there.
I don't like a host of Knights. I like a.
Do you like Gladys Knight?
Yeah, I do like Gladys Knight. There's a future cheerleader.
There's a future cheerleader. How cute, huh?
I do like Gladys Knight.
Do you?
But only with the pips, by the way. Only with the pips, Steve.
Look how cute.
Do you remember the pips?
I'm not even going to touch it.
Gladys Knight was in Las Vegas when I was down. As a matter of fact, Steve, I was in Las Vegas when this whole tragedy took place and had to spend 13 hours in a car. Not that it mattered after everything else that happened. Nice pitch this time to Ishaya. Ishaya has first down yardage, still on his feet, and inside the 25-yard line down to the 22-yard line, finally taken out of bounds. Number 4 was over there, Clancy, but here's College Park knocking on the door again.
Unbelievable, Dan. It seems like they've been getting outplayed, in this whole game, and they won't go away. They're sitting here, and we're rooting for overtime. We want a field goal right here, and but they're moving right now, and
I think if I have one thing I'd like to point out about Las Lomas and their offense is I think at times they are really, really in love with throwing the ball long.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes, although they did throw a nice short pass, this was something I might have called in that last play, but then they got taken back by the penalty. So
Lynn quarterbacking again, Dan, gives them McClendon. I'm going to do the play-by-play again while you're just
I'm going to have my Snapple. You just go right ahead. I'm going to drink a Snapple, which is part of our great sponsor
That's the third
package.
time.
I'm going to drink. Here's a Snapple. They're part of our great sponsor package from Concord Beverage, and Steve's going to call the play-by-play, so you go right ahead, Steve.
That's the third time I've done that to you tonight. I don't know what's getting into me. I'll tell you what. I'll just sit here and let you do everything.
Steve, there's been games when you had a hard time not only pronouncing names, but knowing who was playing, and tonight you're, McClendon over left end, nice tackle by Madrid. What is going on?
Too much sleep.
My goodness. What medicine are you on?
I'm on life, baby. There's a touchdown by
look
Lynn.
At Lynn. Lynn
There's
on
a
his feet. Touchdown. Unbelievable. Lynn from 22 yards. It looked like, you know why, Steve? You know why that was such a great play? I thought he handed to McClendon.
Yep.
Then I thought he pitched to Ishaya, and so did Las Lomas.
Yep. And it was a real great play, Dan. And right now you can hear a pin drop on the Las Lomas side over here. We're on their side. And everybody's just stunned. They can't believe really what's happened. Let's watch the replay right here. Take the replay, Dan.
Look, okay, I'll take this one.
Go ahead.
Okay, there he is. And you think that McClendon has the ball.
Nice
then
move.
you think he's going to pitch. And Davis went almost to their sideline. And then here he is, bouncing up there. And then see, Steve, when you have 4 guys downfield like that and there's no red guys, you're probably going to run for a touchdown.
And that's what he just did.
And he could have probably ran over to the Sun Valley Mall, picked up a new Miami of Florida Ken Dorsey jersey, and came back for this extra point.
How much are those jerseys?
You are a machine tonight. Here's College Park going
for 2, Dan.
Ahead by 3.
Uh-oh.
Oh, that didn't work, and there's a fumble. And if Las Lomas was to pick this up and run it in, they could have got 2 points, but the play is dead. And there's still 7:10 to go by far. Las Lomas not out of this one, Steve, but now trailing 24-21. As a matter of fact, the first time they've trailed in tonight's game.
It really is, Dan. And College Park Falcons, you got to take your hat or your shirt or your whatever you want from them off, and you got to give them credit. They hung in this game, and Steve Lynn and Finney's done a good job at times, and McClendon and Shorter, they've all done good on the offensive side of the ball, and I'm going to let you talk, Dan.
Well, I was going to say, you ain't taking your shirt off.
No.
Okay.
Are you kidding?
Las Lomas began the scoring an 18-yard pass from Lewis to Burrell, 6-0, and then Lynn the 1-yard run. It was 6-6 at halftime. Here in the third and fourth quarters, though, Steve, are we back on again?
No.
Okay, 40-yard TD run. Why are you tapping me? Am I doing something wrong?
You're
here?
doing fine. Go ahead.
Thank
Go
you.
for it.
I thought I was confused for a minute.
Okay.
40-yard TD run for Knockman. 73-yard TD pass from Fennessy to Wilhelm. A 37-yard pass to Davis from Lewis. 5-yard McClendon run, and then a 23-yard quarterback keep by Lynn. And Joel, the stat man, is going to get not only one cookie, but our entire box of cookies.
He can
tonight
have the cookies
when he
tonight.
goes home.
And last week we had a great game, a lot of offense. This week we got a lot of offense.
These are two of the best games we've had in the entire time we've done the series. Normally we do like De La Salle and someone, and it's 48-3 in the end of the third quarter.
Mm-hmm.
Short kick, taken by number 2, Joe Acroft.
And Joe brings out to about the 35-yard line, and here come the Knights again. They got plenty of time, 7:05. Field goal puts it in OT. Touchdown.
You want OT.
Sure I do.
Yeah, you want OT. I know what you're looking for. Los Lomas wants the W.
Oh, yeah.
So does College
So does
Park.
College Park.
I'd have to say this would be an upset if College Park won tonight.
You think so?
Well, it's Los. Teams are evenly matched, but Los Lomas is playing at home.
Yeah.
There's Lewis's stats: 14 of 22 for 216 and 2 touchdowns. Wow.
Almost matches last week, really. You know, last week it was 246, and he was, I think he was 14 for 24. So he threw. And here's a nice little draw play.
That is a nice draw. Red. You know who that is, Steve?
Yeah, I know who
That's
that is.
Big Mike Plath.
And he's been playing great. He's only a junior, and he's been really coming. And right now, you kind of feel. Here's a replay. Let's watch 74 penetrate. He does a little misdirection, Dan, and comes from the blind side, and just boy, when he grabs a hold of you, huh? My God, I'll get the check.
It looked like a grizzly bear out in the
My
wild.
Jeez.
Mike Plath, he's got to go what, Steve?
He can go anywhere he wants to go. I'm not stopping him.
You know what, though, Steve? That first play, I have a feeling, is going to set up another play.
Set up another one, yeah, I think
They're
you're right.
They're going to run a fake draw here, and they're going to freeze everybody, and Lewis is going to go ballistic. And here he is with a deep drop.
And this is
time
set
the
up
screen.
again.
And there's Burrell. And Burrell has a first down for Los Lomas, still on his feet, near midfield. It looks like Wilhelm in on that tackle, as well as number 19, Dwight Upshaw. Look at this beautiful play.
That's right here, Danny. You called it right. It was going to set up something. And here comes Wilhelm across the line. And they've done this about 5 or 6 times. And right here, I'm not going to tackle this guy. And right here, he's in the open field right there. There's a missed tackle. He's going to pick up about 6 or 7 more yards. And, boy, number 58 was lucky he really didn't get hurt right there. He got rolled over from the blind side. But the Knights are on the move right here. They moved the chains. First and goal to go. They're almost at midfield, Dan.
That was Kazaz who was down on that block. Nice fake, play action, throw out
to
nice Nachman. Catch. Nice catch. Nachman still on his feet. Down the right sideline, drug out of bounds. Inside the 40-yard line.
Nachman, he's a good little player. Let's watch this, Dan. Little fake up the middle, little 4 or 5 step drop. And right here, watch this. He pats it with his left hand, puts it up. Nice catch, nice concentration. And right here, he turns upfield and picks up some valuable yardage. They're going to move the chains, and
Shorter got hurt on that play as well, Steve. I think he got a stinger there, and he's going off. The ball at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10, 5:57 to go. College Park leads 24-21. And you know, Steve, not to knock either Monte Vista or Antioch, who played great. It was a great game. But that game was kind of sloppy. A lot of turnovers.
Yeah, exactly.
This game has had hardly any sloppiness in it.
Not a whole lot of turnovers. They both moved the ball, and the offenses have controlled the tempo.
Inside screen, little hitch pass to Clancy. That is Clancy, number 4, and Clancy is going to go for a touchdown. Steve Sanchez, oh, wait a minute, there's a penalty
flag. There's a flag, and they're coming back.
I don't think this is going to count, Steve.
No, because Lewis is just upset.
I think they might call a pick on that play, Steve. They had 2 receivers over there, or it could be holding. Let's wait to see what the call is.
I thought I read the umpire's lips. I thought he said hold. So let's see what they called, Dan.
It is a hold.
Here, number 20 grabbed the jersey to pull it way out of his way.
Boy, they are just trying, convicting, and
there's nothing. You robbed, you're going to jail. Hit the cell.
That's it. Number 20. Let me tell you what you did. He grabbed the jersey, took his wallet, robbed the guy, and we're going to charge him not 50. We're going to put another 5 yards on him. Man. This kid goes like this. Can I go home now or what? Jeez.
It's more fun than the other option, though,
Yeah,
which would be like holding number 3, 10 yards, first down.
Yeah, but I can't believe they're calling the numbers out in a high school game.
But man, that's a 15-yard penalty on that
It's a big one.
down.
It's a big one.
First and now
5:48 to go. Took them off the lead.
They say 21, so we're going to call it first. Oh, look at this. Now, Steve, that's a host of Falcons, and the ball's on the ground. Does College Park have it? Are they going to call it down?
They're going to call it down.
They're calling it down.
Yeah.
They're calling it down. Now, that was, Steve, the entire line of College Park, who has not put a lot of pressure on Lewis tonight. They were all over him on that play.
Well, you know, Dan, let's watch this. Let's watch him penetrate right here. They try to set that screen up again right there to number 4, and right here it's just like a jailbreak right here. And
God, you'd know.
Yeah. And
You've been in a few.
And right now, they're what a big penalty that really was, Dan.
Now, Steve, this is a location. This is second and like that Pleasanton-Dublin interchange for a first down. At least. I mean, they need to go almost out to Blackhawk for a first down. Second and 29, the ball at the 46, and Lewis, a keeper, and he's going to get a lot of that back, Steve.
Yeah, he really did.
That's about a 15-yard gain on second down. It's going to be third and long. Take a look at this.
That's what's the replay right there. There's the hole.
Well, they had a nickel package in it, looked like, Steve.
Yeah, they really did.
A deep two coverage zone on that play.
Well, you know, that's right there. The offense taking what they're giving them.
But you know, when Linigan can't come up and make a tackle, you know that he was deep.
Yeah.
Because he's usually all around the ball. 4:28 to go in the fourth quarter. What a game tonight from Los Lomas High School. Glad to bring it to you. 24-21, the Falcons over the Knights. And we have 4:19 to go, as I mentioned. And here's Lewis to pass on third down.
Deep
Lewis rolling. Lewis over the middle, and he overthrows the intended receiver. It looked like number 22, Ryan Walker, and it was Walker. And it's going to be fourth down, and this is an important decision. Do you kick and try to get him down there and get out? You still got 3 timeouts. Or do you try to – actually, they have 2 timeouts. Or do you go on fourth down, Steve?
Well, I think they're going to call a timeout and talk about it, and I don't like that call right there. I would just went for it, you know, and try to let my defense hold them.
One more time before we get out of here tonight, we'd like to tell you about next week, and next week we'll be at Alhambra High School for the first time. Concord at Alhambra, and then Campo Lindo at College Park. That should be a good one, a quick one over at DVC. Deer Valley at Antioch, for those of you on this side of the hill, you do not know what you're in for until you see the intensity behind Deer Valley at Antioch, then, of course, Antioch and Pittsburgh, Steve. Now, this one right here, early in the season, looked like it was going to be a big game. We hope that it still is. But the way De La Salle's playing and the way Pittsburgh is played, it could just be another one of those De La Salle at Pittsburgh type games.
But we're at Pittsburgh, right? Mecca?
Yeah. Mecca
be
food
catering?
Yeah, Mecca.
Okay,
well,
I'll
we
be
had
there.
Rocco's tonight, and they had good pizza, and then we'll have the Mecca.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Acalanes at Los Lomas should be a good one. It's Acalanes, according to Clay Callum, of course.
You're working on that Acalanes thing, aren't you? Go ahead.
Antioch at Ignacio should be a good one at DVC, and that's a real battle of styles. Passing versus running, that weird offense that Ignacio Valley likes to run. Clayton at Antioch, Kirk Pardee back on the other side of the East Bay, and Miramani at Los Lomas, Antioch, and Pittsburgh, folks. Don't forget to join us all throughout the season, and then we're going to come at you with basketball games and baseball games and pro wrestling and tube radio and having lots of fun in Metal Mat and CC Rock.
And if you're very well, we'll bring you marbles, just for the hell of it.
You are marbles. You've lost your marbles. They're going to go for it on fourth down, Steve. The ball at the 40-yard line, 4th and 15. Lewis surveying this scene with 2 receivers near side. Lewis with time. Lewis looking. Lewis throwing.
He's there.
He's there. What happened?
He caught it.
Did he really?
Yes,
he did. What a play it looked like. No, wait. It's intercepted.
Wow. How'd that happen?
I told you that it looked like the defensive. We got to see this on the replay.
Let's watch it on the replay.
Oh, man. It looked like they made the catch, but the mark was for the interception. Take a look at this, Steve.
Let's see who comes up with. Let's see if it's number 31, Dan. Let's watch. He's got a big drop. He's got some good time to throw the ball. There's a nice angle of him. Let's see what happens here.
You know what, Steve?
He had it, and he got it stripped from him, it looks like.
Oh, it did. It looked like he had it, and then...
No, there's 31 right there.
Wilhelm came out of it. Oh, wow. What a play.
Turnover. What a turnover.
Well, this is 4 minutes to go. Lynn's back at quarterback. The ball in the 17. College Park first down, up by 3. And it looked like McClendon, just a couple. And Los Lomas now has to start thinking about using their timeouts.
Yeah.
They only have 1 left.
I think I'd use one right now. I don't know what they're waiting for.
3:55. I think they're going to wait. There's very little gain there. It's going to be 2nd and 9, Steve. So if they stop them here, they should still have about 3 minutes and a timeout left to come back. And they are in very serious trouble field position-wise. And McClendon hasn't exactly shown Ray Guy type of stats.
And you know, one thing about high school football, Dan, is that the timeouts, they are a big thing, but you need to always realize that after you get a first down, they move the chains and stops the clock. So that helps you in high school football.
Well, let's see what Los Lomas can do on defense. They've let College Park go in for 3 long touchdowns. Oh, now that's a big play. They took too much time, and they're going to get moved back 5. It's going to be 2nd and 14, Steve. So we're not done yet.
No.
I think this one's going to go right down to the last play. The JV game went down to the last play.
Overtime.
Well, but have you seen it might come down to our friend Spidell.
Spidell. Spidell
He
knew
wanted
something.
us to make
Sure.
sure we knew his name.
Yeah.
So we know your name.
I'll tell you what. You know what? I hope Spidell kicks it. Wouldn't that be great?
And ties it up.
And ties it up.
After all that, I hope he
After all
shaves
that.
those sideburns that he has, too.
It looks like Elvis Presley with that name, baby.
2nd and 14, the ball at the 13, handoff. second back. Oh, I'm trying to see who that is, Steve. It was 21, Shorter, and Shorter gets a couple back. But this is a big play here because this is not something that College Park has really done a lot, Steve, is convert on third down, and Los Lomas calls their last time out of the game with 3:11 to go, third and 13, and we've said it a couple times, but this is the biggest play of the game so far.
Well, Dan, you know what? It's the biggest play of the game so far, but after this, the next play will be the biggest play, then the play after that will be the biggest play. You're going to have some big plays here in the next about 3:11 to wind this game up. But it's been a great football game, and it's going to come down to it looks like, and should be pretty exciting down the stretch here.
Take a look at the huddle there, and I'll tell you, Steve, we've never been over on this side. You never know what you're about to see, but you could tell by looking at both of these programs that these are very well-coached teams, and here are a couple of very well-coached announcers. And Bill Kepler, hat should be taken off to Bill Kepler, and also to Doug Longero
Both
for
of them.
preparing these teams.
Two
They've
good
done a
programs.
great time, and of course, in this hour of tragedy, we've been able to come together as a community and as people, and not only as people but as friends, and have a great athletic contest out here with no trouble, no hassles, no fights, no penalties or personal fouls or anything like that. I think everyone's playing tonight, not only for their schools and themselves, but just for the fact that we hope that we can return to normal here sometime soon.
Sometime soon, and I agree with you 100%, Dan.
Well, I'm one of those guys, Steve, that says we cannot let them win, and if we don't return to normal, they have won. So I say we need to get back to our normal way
Here's
of life.
Lynn rolling out.
They had like a oh my goodness, a great play. First of all, 17 Moraine came in. You knew they had it. They're going to have some kind of rover looking for Lynn. Then it was nearly intercepted by Davis, and it stops the clock, Steve, though.
That's the one big thing it does, throwing the ball in the air right there. But let's watch the replay right here, Dan. You called it perfect right here. The ball is in the air. Watch Lynn. And number 7 reads it pretty good. And here comes 17 from the outside. He reads it good. Watch the ball get tipped right there. Twice it gets tipped.
You know, if Ashaya doesn't tip that, Davis intercepts it. It might have went in for a touchdown.
It might have went in. This is going to be a big punt right here, Dan.
McClendon to kick. Gets off a good kick. That's Davis. And Davis fumbles the ball. Oh, no.
I think Los Lomos got it back.
Oh, man. Oh, man. You know, Steve, after we went and said that there hadn't been any mistakes in this game, we've had a couple in the last 2 minutes. We had the interception on the pass from Lewis. We had the near interception there. We had the fumble there.
Let's watch the replay on the muff right here, Dan. Here comes a kick, and it's down. And right here, College Park almost wins the game. This is how close they are from winning. Look at this. It's right in front of him. A can of corn, and he can't pull it in.
Who is that right there, Steve?
I think it's 27, isn't it?
It's either Amoroso or Lawrence. They're the only ones with those sort of numbers.
Well, here we go, Dan.
So we'll give credit to them. Here we go, 2:54 to go. Los Lomas with no timeouts. College Park has all 3 of those. And for the first time tonight, Lewis comes out in the shotgun. Ball at the Knights' 46-yard line. First down. Lewis right up the middle on a quarterback draw. He's over midfield. He's still on his feet. He gets hammered, but he has a first down. The clock's going to stop. He's down to the 44-yard line, Steve. We should have an unbelievable finish here.
This is going to be unbelievable, Dan. Let's watch a replay right here. It's just like a 2-step quarterback draw right here. He's up the middle, and right here he makes – watch this nice little move. He likes spinning right there. He does a nice little spin move and moves the chains, Dan.
Perron took on Plath on that play, made a great block. Lewis to pass. First down. Sideline.
Yes.
Davis has it. Davis still on his feet, and Davis finally tackled inside the 30-yard line. First down, Knights. The play there made by 81 Wilhelm. 2:32 to go, and I'll tell you, Steve, this has been as good a high school football game as I've seen.
Let's watch the replay right here, Dan. He's real deep in the pocket. This kid can throw the ball, boy. I tell you, he throws it on the outside, puts it on a rope. Davis catches it, turns upfield, moves the chain, stops the clock. A lot of time left right now, 2:32, Dan.
College Park uses a timeout, Steve. You know, I got to give credit where credit's due to. I think our camera crew has done a fantastic job.
They've done a great job tonight.
I'll tell you, that's one of the things about putting these two sides together where I think, you know, they picked the cameramen, and I don't know about that Ron Carter guy.
No.
How he got the job. No, we're just teasing. Ron Carter does a great job.
Let's watch
so
this
does Matt.
replay
Look
again.
at
Take
this.
it, Dan.
No, that's okay. You take it.
Well, there's
you
Dave.
did the first one. I'll do the second one. That was a great play. You did a great call, and I can't improve on it.
Okay, well, great tackle right there by Wilhelm, too. That's the only thing I could add to that. He tied him up. Clancy put a nice block on him, and we got plenty of time here. Go ahead, Dan. I can't say nothing else.
I was going to say Matt Bollender and Ron Carter do a great job.
They do.
And Metal Matt, of course, we'll have CC Rock on after this game, and he's talked to Great White.
Yep.
And I think the other show is like Ted Nugent, Styx, and Night Ranger. So
I-
it's just the battle
I
of
know
80s
them
rock.
bands. I
Well,
know them
you
bands.
should know those bands. Have you heard of Prime STH? No, okay.
No, I haven't heard of that.
That's how
Look at
hit you
Lewis's
are.
numbers, Dan.
Oh, my. 17 of 26, 263 yards and 2 touchdowns. What does Big Joel have?
Big Joe has a stat board. He's handed it to us, and Joel's a Giant fan. I love Joe. He's got a Giant hat on.
He's very close. So we know that Lewis is around that 260-yard mark right now. 2:32 to go. First down, ball at the 28. Los Lomas trying to go in for the go-ahead score. Lewis, nice slant pattern. Walker has it. Walker still on his feet. He's shy of the tackle.
But he's going to move the chains and stop the clock again, Dan.
Inside the 20-yard line. What a ball game.
2:25 to go. Let's watch this replay right here. Quick two-step drop right here. Over the middle.
And as Shia just said, though, you're not going any farther this time. Here we go. And College Park's got to be careful. They want to leave some time on the clock. Here's the pass, another slant. Walker, and it's incomplete. And that time I think they went back to the well one too many times.
Yeah, they really did. They tried Walker again over the middle. They tried to do the same thing, and somebody's got a cramp out there on their throw.
You know what I'd like to see in a situation like this, Steve, is this is where you draw, you've thrown the slant, you throw a flagger post right over that, and try to catch that safety pulling up on the slant.
With Lewis, I used to like it with Chris Hurd. It was kind of like the same thing. Roll out in the flat, give yourself the option, either rolling or throwing in the end zone, and our man's going to come in with a field goal and put it in overtime for us. That's what's going to happen.
Spidell.
Get ready, Spidell. I'm going to
Lewis
go him.
to pass. Lewis rolling. Lewis, the throw. He's got the Swisher, and Swisher has another first down inside the 10-yard line. That was a great. I'm telling you, this guy's got the composure of a guy that's been playing quarterback for 15 years.
Let's watch him again, Dan. And this guy played for Benicia last year. How they do as a sophomore? How come they didn't win a game? I don't know. But anyway, here he is on the outside rolling out, and Los Lomos just wants to thank his mother for moving to Walnut Creek.
Oh, Mr. Clancy was down there and nearly put a block on a man while the ball was in the air. That could have been very close. Here we go. First down from the 7.
Draw.
Here's Lewis up the middle. Lewis in the end zone. Touchdown! Touchdown, Los Lomas. A 7-yard run with 1:53 to go. It's 27-24. But you know what, Steve? College Park has a minute 53 and 2 timeouts.
A lot of time left. A lot of time left. This is far from over.
And this is a big extra point because if our buddy Spidell don't convert, they only need a field goal to tie. What a game.
Second week in a row.
Unbelievable. We've had 2 great football games for you. And I'll tell you, folks, I know we're the only game on this weekend, but maybe that's a good thing.
Well,
maybe you should watch this game. Here we go. The set, the snap, the kick is up, and it's good. So our buddy Spidell comes through. 28-24 Knights. That was a Lewis. Let's take a look at it, Steve.
Okay, let's look at the replay right here. Lewis, it's just a quarterback draw right here, right from the get-go. It's a planned play, and he gets up the middle right here. He dives on in, and this kid's the real deal, Dan.
Well, you want to know something, Steve? You'd be hard-pressed to find 2 quarterbacks. You got J.C. Lewis. You got Steve Lynn, who's more of a utility guy.
Right.
He's a great football player. And then you got this Mark Guillen, and the kid at Alhambra's good. You'd be hard-pressed in these leagues around here to find quarterbacks as good. But the kid we saw last week out in Monte Vista,
right.
He was a good quarterback.
Right.
Joey Pate threw for over 300 yards for Antioch. You got Matt Gutierrez. I mean, we are blessed with a lot of really good, fine high school football talent in this region.
Well, in the high school preview this year, they said it was a year of the quarterback, and they knew what they were talking about. That's for sure, Dan. We got enough of them in the Bay Area here to have a lot of Division I people over here looking at these kids, and what a great game Lewis has had. Boy, he's fun to watch, ain't he?
He's very fun to watch, Steve. I almost talked like you for a minute.
Yeah, you did.
I appreciate it.
I rub off on people. It's funny.
You do. Well, we were looking, Steve. You got Sam Keller from San Ramon Valley, Drew Olson, Matt Gutierrez, Mark Guillen, and, of course, Floyd Burnstead has turned out a number of great quarterbacks at Marimonte. This kid already is telling you that he's going. Yeah, there's a bunch of them from this league. This kid's already telling you, though, that he's going to Florida. And
the
Kyle
kid from
Wright,
Marimonte?
Yeah.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Kyle Wright is just a junior at Monte Vista, and he threw for over 200 yards last week in that game, that tie at Antioch. Here's the kid.
Here we go, Dan.
Spidell, and that is number 21, Shorter, inside the 10. Shorter on his feet.
He's
up
got
the
room.
Sideline. He does have room. He's tripped up at the 35-yard line by number 27, Scott Amoroso. But here's College Park, a minute 47 to go. 2 timeouts, and the ball at about the 35-yard line.
Real nice tackle by Scott Amoroso. First time we called his name tonight. Good job on special teams on his part. And we got a minute 47. They got 2 timeouts left, Dan, and here we go. It's this is it.
You know, that's the first time we've called Amoroso. Actually, I think we called it once before,
Did
but
we?
I'm sure you're going to call Amaretto when we get home tonight.
I got some amaretto in the car for the way home. Are you kidding me?
Little hot toddy.
Little hot toddy for the way home. Me and Walt.
We get home.
Celine and Natalie, we're coming home.
28-24, a minute 47 to go. What a game, the opener for the Diablo Foothill Athletic League here on AT&T Broadband. Fennessy, the quarterback, and Fennessy keeps it, and he only gets a yard maybe back to the line of scrimmage. Burrell was in there as well as Brendan Swisher. So, Steve, the clock is running with a minute 35. They have 2 timeouts. They need to get to the line of scrimmage, and they need to go 65 yards to score, and they need a touchdown. Here's Fennessy. Fennessy rolling. Fennessy the pass. Fennessy looking for Lynn. Lynn, it's incomplete. You know, Steve, I don't necessarily question this because I don't know, but in this situation, with these defenders being tired and been on the field, wouldn't you want Lynn in there running that option thing right now?
Oh, definitely.
As opposed to throwing with Fennessy, even though Fennessy's had a great game, but I just think Lynn has really had a couple of runs out. They've really found some holes in that defense.
They may be thinking that the situation is, you know, obviously with 1:15, well, actually back then it was about 1:35 to go, that they really ain't got the time to put the ball on the ground, that they their best hope is with Fennessy right now, put it in the air, try to move the chains and get a couple first downs through the air. They still got 2 downs to move the chains right now, minute 15. They need to answer right here on this play right here, Dan.
Big
to have
chant
a
of defense from the Los Lomas crowd here. A big crowd tonight gathered at Los Lomas High School. 3rd and 10. This is the last gap for College Park. Fennessy to pass, short drop, rolling. He's wrapped up. He throws the ball, and it's incomplete. He threw a nice one. It could have been grounding, but he had his Shia over there. But it's incomplete, Steve, and this will be the biggest play of the game for College Park. It's 4th down.
Yeah, it was, matter of fact, it was better that he dropped that ball than caught it, Dan. It would have been about a 3-yard gain. The clock would have kept moving, and that stopped the clock a little bit. And they have a chance to regroup right here. They might have called the timeout. I see the coach on the field. I think College Park took a timeout, and I think they're going to call about 3 plays in the huddle in succession to see if they can't move the chains.
Let's take another look at that.
Let's watch the sack right here, or the close to sack anyway. Right here from the outside, Boreal 92 gets held, and number 44, Madrid, does a real good job of slinging him down, and Madrid's played a great game, and he came up short.
Well, Steve, I need to take a look. I'm glad you brought this this great newspaper in here so I can take a look
I'll
at the
have it all
schedule.
year.
Miramani, College Park is at Miramani next week, and Los Lomas is at Camp Alindo next week. So big games in the Diablo Foothill Athletic League. We'll be at Alhambra for Concord at Alhambra, and we'll tell you more about our schedule and about our great sponsors at the completion of tonight's game. Stay with us at the completion. We'll take a 2-minute break, and we'll be back for stats and wrap-up. Don't go anywhere. 1:09 to go. 4th down, College Park. This is Fennessy on 4th down. And Fennessy is tackled and sacked, and Los Lomas is going to steal one here, Steve. It looked like they might have given one away. I think they're going to get it back.
Yeah, Dan, you're absolutely right. You hit the nail right on the head. They're going to escape with a victory. They kind of shot themselves in the foot in the 4th quarter there towards the end. But they answered when they had to, Dan. And they put a drive together, and led by Lewis, and he led them down the field, and looks like they're going to get a win here.
Well, Steve, I don't think there's any doubt who the player of the game is for Los Lomas. It's got to be as you take a look at Lowe on the sidelines, and I don't know whether he's just happy or hurt. But we'll find out. I think he was just kind of happy and tired and glad for the victory. But Lewis is definitely going to get the game ball on our side for Los Lomas. Near 300 yards passing, ran for a bunch of yards, ran for touchdowns, threw for touchdowns, had a great game. And for College Park, of course, Lynn was
again.
all over the field.
Lynn again.
And not just for his offensive play, but for his defensive play and being all over the field. But, you know, there's been a number of players for Los Lomas tonight. Knockman had a great game. Davis had a great game. Walker was all over the field. Burrell made a number of nice plays. And the hats go off to the coaching staff here as we have a timeout. But that'll be the last. And there's Coach Longero, who was going to get out of here and go to 2-0 on the season, barring any sort of miracle finish here. College Park side, Steve, a number of guys that we've called names tonight. Fennessy came in relief, threw for over 100
yards. Did a great job.
Also, Wilhelm's name came up a number of times. Also, number 21, Andrew Shorter, had a great game for College Park. And, of course, Ishaya and McClendon played as well. And we'll see the College Park Falcons in 2 weeks against Campalindo, and that's a very winnable game for College Park, as they have a very tough one next week. They have to go out to Marimani and play.
Yeah.
They could be 0-3 when we see them, but they've had some tough losses, Steve. They have lost in the last 30 seconds and the last 2 minutes on their first 2 games.
Well, the main thing about it is, Dan, they're competitive, and there's always room for improvement when you're just getting nipped, in football games. So looks like Los Lomas is going to win one, but good high school game again, Dan, back-to-back weeks.
Steve, if you see that formation Los Lomas is in over there, that's probably going to be a penalty.
It's not. He got away with one. And 66 is going after him.
Is that that looks like Ignacio Valley's offense
in
the formation they're in right now with that weird, what do they call that thing?
What was that called,
I don't
Dan?
know. It's in the preview here. Where's the preview?
Well, let me get it for you.
Clock running with 35 seconds to go. This will probably be the last play of the game.
See, you flipped it on me. You flipped my paper. I had it right where you...
BVAL, Ignacio Valley. It's called... It doesn't say. It doesn't say. It doesn't say. Okay, doesn't say. But it's weird. So you have to go see him.
It's called a weird offense.
Too much time, the call here with 17 seconds to go, but all Los Lomas needs to do is snap the ball and put the knee down, and then we'll be out of here. Join us next week when Concord and Alhambra battle at Alhambra High School, and then in 2 weeks, College Park and Campalindo, the first month of AT&T Broadband. Great football here, and a great game tonight from Los Lomas High School. As we're kind of in this, I hate this part of football, Steve. I think they should adopt the arena football rule. You have to gain positive yardage, irregardless of how much time's left on the clock. Even if it's an inch, can't put the knee down. But that's not the rule in high school football, and we're going to get out of here, and Los Lomas is going to get a victory.
Yes,
as
they are.
The clock counts down to 10, and inside of 10 seconds, the final score tonight from Los Lomas High School, the Knights 28 and the College Park Falcons 24. We'll be back in 2 minutes to wrap this one up on AT&T Broadband.